Hey, yo, what up? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Yo, what up, Astro? Gemini 605. Hey, hey, man. Get your toilet paper ready, man. I call it Browns for a reason. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Yo, what up, the Jerry Sean gun? You got it. Yo, is my sound straight? All right, bet. Okay. All right, cool. Y'all got it, bro. Hey, so you see the title, man. I was gonna hold off to do this, but I said, hell, fuck it. I got time. Why not go ahead and hop into this? And I seen a lot of people talking about it. I wanted to talk about James Harden, even more so than the whole Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams thing. But you know how the stars line up, as they say, that pretty much give you confirmation that it's something that needs to be talked about, especially amongst black men. Um, Well, how you say that about Harden? Because it's a business. Listen, bro, this is what people don't understand about teamwork and leadership. All right, every good team has to have a good leader. I say again, every good team has to have a good leader. All right, everybody that understood the reason why the Houston Rockets would never win, it was twofold. The coach they had was not a good leader. He's not a good coach. Again, he has a good scheme. And let me definitely clarify this up, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up on me. Um, appreciate everybody for pulling up on me. But whatnot, and make sure you like the video and share it. So what people don't understand is you can be phenomenal. You can be a phenomenal individual, great person with individual talent and whatnot, what have you, right? But the thing is, very very few and far between. There's very few sports or even situations in this world where you're going to be able to do anything on your own and only on your own. Even for those people that are phenomenal individual athletes, right? Your Floyd Mayweathers, your John Jones, your Serena Williams, your whoever they may be. What do those people still have? Even in those individual sports, they still have coaches. They still have people that they practice and spar against to see, where they're missing something or where they're weak or something that they can take from somebody else to learn and improve their own skill set, right? So in the black community, this is very, very it's like a hidden secret and gem because of the crab in the barrel mentality, unfortunately. For niggas, bro, it's okay. Well, what can I get out of it? What about me? All right, and if it ain't about me, I really don't care. Or if it ain't about me, well, why should I be doing this? Why should I be doing that? And we've seen this twice here over the last week with the James Harden situation. James Harden is like, bro, he has the literally the dream of a lot of even us grown adults right now. Everybody have hoop dreams, man. All right, or football dreams, or professional sports dreams about you making it to the top, you being the All Star, the MVP, the NBA champion, the Super Bowl champion, the Finals MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, Pro Bowl, all these things, all NBA, whatever it may be, right? And James Harden actually gets to live that life thanks to his God-given talent. Thing about it though is thing about it is he's a great individual, but he's a horrible teammate. And he's even worse as a leader. Listen, now this is another thing too that people need to understand. You have some people that are great teammates, but when you try to force them to be something they're really not, then they become bad teammates because you're forcing them into a position they're either not prepared for, they're not built for, or they just simply don't want. All right. Everybody think they can be the leader, man. Everybody think they can be the person to lead the charge, the general, the admiral, the whoever, whatever, the person that's gonna get shit done. It's real easy to fucking think that shit on paper until you put in the fire, bro, in real time, and you gotta do it. And when shit come up short, you gotta say, hey, my bad, or hey, I fucked up, or hey, it's on me. That takes a level of maturity and responsibility, bro, and humbleness and so many things. A lot of characteristics that most people just don't have, right? And of course, that's not just excluded to or you know, to black people, of course, or black men, but this is about black men, so that's who I'm talking to. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen through all types of men and women. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, it ain't my fault. It ain't this. Well, no, man, you're the leader. So if you're the leader, you have to be prepared. And what you happen when you're a good leader is you reinforce your team and you let your team pretty much know, hey, look, hey, man, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, I got you. I'll go to war for you. I'll kill. I'll die for you. But all I ask is you pretty much, keep me in the loop. Let me know what's going on. Don't let me get blindsided. Don't lie to me and don't have me looking stupid. Because at least if you straight up with me, you do some of the craziest foul of shit, and you let me know before somebody else tell me about it, I can go let the necessary people know. So, and then have everything together. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's on the same page. Nobody's getting blindsided. We already got a plan in place because all those questions are going to be asked. And this is one of the benefits of being a person in the military, bro. You learn this shit early. You know what I'm saying? You learn early. The smallest little shit that you think is just so minuscule and insignificant, bro, to the military shit is extremely, extremely a big deal. Why? Because it makes somebody look bad, or because the person that's in charge has a fucking thing about this or a thing about that. The biggest thing that you understand and notice in the military was like DUIs, bro. In the real world, a DUI is not such a big deal, but in the military, bro, a DUI, nigga, that shit'll kill your career. All right. And I'm not saying to the point of where you get one, you get kicked out. But the thing is, you're rolling the dice because you don't know who the person is handing down the punishment for that. There were certain individuals that would, when they became the CO or the commanding officer, they absolutely despised people that had DUIs because they'd been in the military so long, they had lost friends, they had lost family members, they'd seen people that were irresponsible get off for doing shit like that, people killing people, babies and things, all kinds of crazy stuff. And because, to you, it made it seem like it's a DUI, and well, then nothing happened, and nobody got hurt, and this and all these other things, but what could have happened? And the person that's in charge is handing down the punishment. How do they look at it? See, a lot of people don't understand that because the black community and black people don't know shit. Well, excuse me, let me say that back. Niggas don't know shit about leadership. Niggas don't know shit about accountability, responsibility. Niggas don't know shit about any of those extremely important, core values and character traits that you need as a great teammate. All right, niggas don't know nothing about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen that here with James Harden because James Harden was pretty much shout out to who we got? King Conjo for the pod. Thank you, brother. What up, bro? Just stopping by through the platform, greetings to everyone. Listening to me on flight line. Yeah, stay blessed. Yeah, man. Most definitely. But with James Harden, it was a guy that had been given the kingdom. He had extreme talents and gifts. So franchise NBA team said, hey, we're going to make you the head guy. Paid him a king's ransom, gave him everything he pretty much asked for, and personnel and everything else and all these different things. And yet he still wasn't able to get the job done. And being that he wasn't able to get the job done, instead of him taking the blame or the responsibility, he still put it on everybody else and pretty much just said, hey, I've done all I can do, and y'all have failed me. Now I have failed you. He didn't only just put it on the team of the team, he put it on the city. You know what I'm saying? He put it on the city of Houston. And you figure he would have learned that through LeBron James, the whole LeBron James decision thing. That was something very any type of special or whatnot, but he pretty much did the same thing. Hey, I did everything I could do. You guys didn't give me what I needed in order to succeed. Even though, like I said, it's several things we can point out to the point of where, hey, you had this person and you guys did this, you choked. You had this person, you guys did this, you choked. You had this and you choked. What? How is this on the city? How is this on the franchise? How is this on everybody else? If you're the guy, and with you being the guy, you're supposed to motherfucking take responsibility of being the guy. You have to motherfucking take the wins and the losses. You don't just get to motherfucking celebrate, bro. You gotta answer some of those tough questions when you don't add up to the expectations, right? Instead of doing that, like I said, he cried and whined his way out of Houston. Cried and whined his way out of Houston, and pretty much said it's the fucking franchise's fault that he couldn't be successful. And now he's in Brooklyn, and he's happy as can be. Why? Because he knows there he's not going to be looked at as the leader. He has two other guys that are already championship players, and KD is the clear leader of that team. So now he doesn't have to deal with any of those tough questions anymore, and he's back to actually where he wants to be. He has all of his talents, all of his ability, and all of the contributions he can give, but he doesn't have to answer those tough questions, and he no longer has to be the motherfucking person that's responsible because he's no longer the leader. He's the person where I was talking to you about. Well, he's a good teammate as long as he's playing his role and you're not forcing him into something that he's not. Okay? Because no one can deny the ability and what James Harden can do as a basketball player. But as a leader, he's absolutely fucking horrendous. No doubt about it. Now, let's move on to Mr. Corey Holcomb. Man, I remember Corey Holcomb way back, and I saw him the first time, I think, either on, I don't know what it was. Was it either Def Comedy Jam or Comic View or whatever it was? I saw him way, way back in the day. And then I knew for a minute there, I got reintroduced to him when Tommy Sotomayor was cool with him, and they was doing their little thing on, I think he was starting up his YouTube or whatnot, right? So that's when I got back familiar with him. But I really didn't ever watch him because he was like a funny dude and all those things, but I just wasn't, I wasn't the biggest fan and just didn't really watch the dude. Especially after the Tommy Sotomayor thing because like he had a falling out and it was crazy. So from that on, I understood like who this guy is, man. This guy is, again, another talented guy, but he doesn't like being challenged. He doesn't like anyone else taking his shine. And he feels like that he has to be the biggest dick in the room, as they say. All right? He purposely picked a person like Zoe Williams because he knows Zoe Williams is going to forever be a fucking role player. All right? He knows that Zoe Williams is going to forever be a role player. So that's why he was cool with Zoe Williams being around and keeping him for what he was. James Harden step back is a goddamn travel. I don't give a damn what y'all say. That shit's a travel, bro. Traveling ass nigga. Niggas ruining the game of basketball. But either way. So the whole thing with Corey Holcomb and what happened with him and Zoe Williams was, bruh, you had this dude that's just pretty much been itching to put this guy back in his place anytime he dare step out and to do it publicly. All right? He did it publicly, bro. There's somebody that would, I'm not going to say they're on the level of brothers, but after a certain level of friendship at a certain time period of friendship, man, that shit transformed from just being friends to, you guys being, something like similar to family. And what you have to understand, good leaders understand and good friends understand is, hey, man, you protect this shit at all costs. And even if you guys have a knockdown, drag out, disagreement, a fight, whatnot, what have you, you don't do that shit in public. You never do it in public, man. You never fucking air your dirty laundry. You never air your dirty laundry, bro. All right? Because what happens when you air your dirty laundry is, when you air your dirty laundry, what happens is that is it? Am I straight? Hold on. Okay, we good. What happens is when you
air your dirty laundry, you weaken the team. All right. And what y'all gonna say? Oh, well, damn, fantastic. Do you do the same thing? No, no, no. Let me explain it to you. See, when people don't understand leadership, they don't understand when a good leader is giving them a chance to fix some shit themselves. All right. And you can't really, to not embarrass a person, is what you do is you give them a little hint or you give them a little tap. You be like, hey, man, really shouldn't be doing this or you really shouldn't be doing that. This is something that can be handled behind closed doors amongst us versus out in front of everybody else because this is not smart. All right. For the sake of the team, and that's why I always tell motherfuckers, look, man, your success is more important than my ego. I told you, the ego of a black man is his fucking greatest strength and his weakest fucking link at the same time, bro. All right. And when Corey Holcomb called that man the weakest link, bro, a dude that's been with him for what they said over 10 years on live fucking television, and you did this and you did that, and basically challenged this man to say, nigga, I know you wouldn't raise a hand to me. I'm not that, I'm not the bitch ass nigga you got in a fight with, and all these other things and whatnot, what have you. So, you know what I mean? Check yourself, nigga. Deal with it. Yeah, I'm embarrassing you on fucking, national TV, or not national TV, but on live motherfucking a live broadcast on YouTube in front of, hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people. And I know it ain't shit you gonna do about it. Remember who clipped your nuts? He publicly castrated that dude, bro. Publicly castrated a man that was supposed to be his friend. And it's like, bro, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do with something after that? And mind you, it's been people that have had extremely, extremely bad blood and friendships and things that were ruined over certain things and whatnot, what have you. But bruh, those things take times, i.e. Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Or Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, just from the sports aspect. And again, you even have the same thing within family dynamics. You have brothers that don't speak to each other in years, mothers, mothers and children, fathers and children, brothers and sisters and sisters, whatnot, what have you. You know, but when it's done on a public level, man, that's just a whole nother fucking thing of disrespect and damage that could never ever be fucking repaired. And again, most niggas don't understand that shit. Niggas don't understand the fact of the matter that, like, man, when you say these things to people, you're 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 putting them, especially when it's a person in the position of like Zoe, that's the role player, that's a support guy. Zoe's never gonna be the front guy. He's not. He just doesn't have the personality. He doesn't have the talent. But as an ad libber, as like what was the dude's name? What was Busta Rhymes' hype man? Or Quavo and Amigos. You know what I'm saying? The ad libbing nigga, they were like, hey, he really got no motherfucking flow or whatnot, what have you. But like that nigga throw them ad libs in there, he right on time every time. Yeah, y'all, man, Kansas City about to rout these boys. Yeah, he was way out of pocket, bro. And like I said, Zoe Split. Hey, shout out to Low Gent. Yeah, Split Star. That nigga was funny as hell. He was right on time. Him and the other dude. What was the other dude? Oh man, the dude that was on the Flavor in Your Ear remix. They was together. I forget Flip Mode. He was the other Flip Mode dude with the dreads. But yeah, man, you have individuals like that where, hey, you're good, so you're a good supporting cast member, but you'll never be the lead role. And it's your job as the leader of a team, man, to understand your people and give a fuck about your people. All right. If your people don't give a fuck about you, well, then, hey, it is what it is. You move on, you keep it going, and you keep doing your thing, you know? But again, even that's another big thing too. So let me get this, and then we'll get to the teammates that aren't made to be leaders from the first place, the role players. That's what's gonna really get niggas pissed off, is the role player role. But so you get people like Corey Holcomb, who adds the talent and all these other things, but he's just a bad leader, bro. He's not accountable. He doesn't want to be responsible. and he has a very, very high temper and ego. He ego trips. This is a dude that's like Corey Holcomb got to be in his 40s, right? I don't know how old he is. All right, he got to be he in his 40s, and yet and still, like I said, man, a man that's been down for you, and y'all held each other down for 10+ years. You had to, like I said, man, rip this dude's spine out like a fucking Mortal Kombat fatality over what? Over a difference of opinion. And to Zoe's point, man, Zoe was saying a lot of real shit. Zoe is a great teammate. Zoe is a great teammate. He was saying exactly what he's supposed to be saying. He's like, look, man, hey, if you can fucking have a disagreement or whatnot, what have you, have the disagreement. But to completely and totally fall out over a disagreement when you have a common goal, that makes no sense. There's nothing productive about that. Everybody loses. Everybody loses. Because the worst thing you can ever do, bro, is turn a possible friend into an enemy for no reason. You're gonna come along in life and you're gonna collect enemies, even not without trying. But when you like pretty much deliberately make one, especially one that has intimate knowledge to whatever it is your plans may be or your personal habits and proclivities or your weaknesses and all these different things, that's dangerous and it's not smart. But when you have a person with big egos like fucking Corey Holcomb, niggas don't think like that. They're not worried about that. Hey, can't nothing happen to me. Can't nobody do shit to me. So on and so forth, all these other things. You niggas ain't gonna this. And he don't even have no contingencies for if and when something comes out or what have you to be able to combat it. There are motherfuckers, man, that are untouchable. As to where like you think you're gonna fuck them over, but they've been thinking way longer ahead, a lot ahead of the curve. People don't understand masterminds, man. They don't. Niggas but niggas aren't masterminds. Niggas think you can just get together, put together some little scheme, finesse people, get over on them. Hey, it is what it is. Move on. You win, they lose. Ha ha ha. You laugh at them. You're going about your life, and it is what it is. Like for one, like you don't think motherfuckers may remember that shit and come back and want to get that back and then some. See again, niggas don't understand strategy. Niggas don't understand psychology. People don't understand like personality types. And certain motherfuckers, man, well, like I said, bro, they don't care. Even if they know they'll lose, as long as if they take your leg in the case of them losing their life, they're satisfied with that. They're happy. You know what I'm saying? But again, people don't have the ability to read personalities like that and understand when they're coming into an individual that's like that and to steer clear of that person because a person like that has nothing to lose. A person that's willing to be a kamikaze pilot or suicide bomber, bro, they coming in with just the intent of hurting you. They don't care what happens to them. That's a person you need to stay away from. Good teammates and leaders recognize and understand that. One of the biggest kamikaze or suicide bomber things you'll have, again, is the person with the extremely huge ego. That person is a danger, man, because again, they feel like it's more important for them to get their shit off or for them to be the top guy, them to be the focal point than any and everybody else around them. And at the first chance they get, they cutting heads off. Not no warning, not no, hey man, let's not do this. Let's chill. Let's this, let's that. Think about this, think about that, so on and so forth. This is the ultimate thing. Hey, we can just holler at me later. Or let's just talk offline. This is not the place or the time. Citizen Luke Zofall, a nigga on this show, and slowed the progress of this show. Nobody goes on 5150 now. Well, Lou, nah, I mean, they brought in the different comedians. So, I mean, you're saying nobody goes on 5150. I think it's just to the point of where, like, it's not because of Zoe fighting a nigga. That wasn't it. Because they still got people to come on there after the fact of that. That wasn't what it was. It's the fact of the matter that everybody picked it up on podcasting. If you got the choice to go on fucking Drink Champs or go on 5150, where you going? If you got a choice to go on Hot Ones or 5150, where you going? You got a chance to sit down and have wine with Carmelo, or 5150, where you going? The market just got oversaturated, man. And like I said, people know who Corey Holcomb is. All these people that are in this realm that are pretty much going to be at the level or bigger than Corey Holcomb knows his personality type. You got Corey Holcomb talking about he gonna do something to Stephen A. Smith. Come on, bro. Stephen A. Smith, like the highest paid, I think, sports analyst in the country or in the world. Well, I almost said the world, but I say definitely the country. Saying because you got a problem with something this man said, you're gonna challenge him to fisticuffs. Come on, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He definitely had people still on the show, but it's it. They know who the fuck Corey Holcomb is, man. Corey Holcomb is just a fucking ticking time bomb. And again, he's a bad leader and horrible teammate. Corey is a double is a double motherfucking double negative. Because not only is he just a bad leader, he's a bad teammate. Why? Because his ego is what leads him first. Whether he's in a leadership position or or he's a role player or he's a supporting, a 1-2 punch. He can't handle that. Corey Holcomb has to be the guy. He has to be the fucking front and center, top bill, no unquestionable fucking guy that gets all the attention. Yeah, that too. They in LA, bro. Yeah. Everybody leaving LA. They crazy for that. They crazy for staying there still doing shows and shit. Yeah, well, I mean, damn. I mean, but that's fucked up, Bitcoin L, because you don't do your mans like that, bro. You don't do a favor for your mans and then be like, oh, la la la. Oh, so where the $20,000 at? Like, come on, man. A dude that's been down with you for those plus years, you don't do that. And like I said, I know from what Zoe was saying, man, like, hey, bro, we had this conversation the other day. You gonna act like we didn't talk about this? Why would the man just make it up? Why would a man make up a fucking claim about wanting to pay back his friend? And then you play stupid on national television. I keep saying national television. You play stupid on a live stream or in a public platform to play the man out like that, man. And like I said, you can see Zoe. So, and what made it so bad was Zoe did his own self. He fucked himself over because what's the name kept saying, "I ain't Harry Spears, nigga, I ain't Harry Spears, I ain't Harry Spears, nigga, I ain't Harry Spears. I know what you want to do," and he turned to him and let him know, like, hey, Zoe should have just went for it. You should have just hooked off, man. Fuck it. Same thing you did with Aries, nigga. Hey, you would have to show me you ain't Aries Spears, nigga. You ain't finna, you not finna motherfucker that baby like this shit. Hey, yo, shout out to motherfucking Jap in the building, man. Shout out to the church, bro. No problem, Jap. But yeah, man, that's the whole thing with this shit, bro. Niggas gotta understand, bro. You gotta be willing to play your motherfucking role, bro. All right, nigga, you gotta be able to be willing to be Horace Grant. You gotta be willing to be motherfucking Boris Diaw, nigga. You gotta be willing to be motherfucking the Davis brothers. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to be them niggas that's not gonna be the all-star, bro, but you get the ring at the end. That's the whole thing about it. That's what niggas don't understand. That's why we always have this fucking bullshit and we can never fucking, work together for the long run because niggas want to get they shit. Shout out to Zero. Let me get my shit off. I gotta get my shit off. I need them shots, nigga. I want to be on Sports Center. Da 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 da. Niggas want to be the head guy, man. Niggas want to be that dude. Yeah, talking about hitting a lick. Like, bro, you can't be, what, 40 something fucking years old, man, talking about hitting no goddamn lick, bro. Come on now. Nigga got a full gray beard with some thick ass glasses on. No lineup talking about hitting a lick. Yeah, nigga. You about to go lick this motherfucking bowl at the soup kitchen. That's the only thing you licking, nigga. That's the only thing you fucking licking, bro. Well, no, I mean, I'm listen, and this is what I'm saying though. But this is what I'm telling you though, man. When you do something like that, and you know you're in a position, bro, he knew that man couldn't afford to pay him back when he did it for him. He knew what he was, and like I told y'all, this is what y'all don't understand about the whole leadership thing, bro. Corey keeps him around just so he can have that nigga that he knows I'm always superior to. Yeah, he with me, he cool. But and that's the same thing he was saying about the other dude. What's the dude's name? Um, was it Grady? The Grady dude he kept talking about. He kept talking about how like, yeah, nigga, I kept that bitch ass nigga around too. All these whole ass niggas. He was literally giving you a map to his psychology, man. He was letting you know. He purposely picks out dudes that he know could never ever surpass him in talent, ability, influence, or money, or any of those things, to where he remains the boss of the situation. And like Zoe, the reason why he went there with Zoe is because Zoe knows this because they're friends. They're actual friends. So he was like, well, hey man, what happened with the Stephen A shit? Well, nigga, Stephen A is a boss, nigga. Stephen A is a real fucking boss. And all this shit you talking about, what you gonna do to him if you see him and all this other shit? What happened with that, bro? Well, I said something to the nigga. Well, no, nigga, you ain't talking about you gonna say nothing to him, nigga. You said you was gonna put hands on him, nigga. That's hey. You talking about what you gonna do him when you see him and all this other shit. So hey, you can't pull that shit with Stephen A. Smith. That's why him and was they had the whole blow up thing with Tommy or whatnot, what have you. Because again, Tommy Sotomayor is a nigga that just has incredible fucking personality and charisma, humor, all those fucking things. And this nigga is not a professional comedian. I should not be competing with this YouTube ass nigga who just popped up out of nowhere. And now this nigga even got the attention of the motherfucking, at the time, fine ass mixed bitch I got on my channel. She flirting with this nigga and shit live on camera. She don't do that shit to me. Oh, this nigga a problem. Get this nigga up out of here. Get him out of here. But again, man, very few people can see that in niggas, and very few people can understand personality types and read like the signals that niggas give off. Niggas don't want to compete, man. Most niggas don't even want to be on no team. Niggas don't understand teamwork. This is why we can't ever get anything did. I told you, innately, bro. Just like dark skinned black women have the triple I syndrome, intrinsic insecurity, inferiority complex. Niggas had the motherfucking crab in the barrel mentality, man. Niggas had the perpetual motherfucking crab in the barrel mentality. Niggas will never get nowhere because they don't want to see the nigga in front of them stay in front of them, or the nigga that's beside them crawl above them. You know how many times I done seen this shit, man? And was like, bruh, are we doing this? Are we really gonna fucking do this? Are we gonna fucking tear each other down? We gonna destroy each other? We supposed to be fucking working together as teammates and all this other shit. This we gonna do, bro? For the sake of what? Why? Because you in your feelings? This is the problem when it always comes back to, and I told y'all, man, this is why you need fathers. Men have to learn how to disagree. Because if you don't, bro, look, niggas, bro, you will die. That's what niggas don't understand, bro. As a man, bro, it's only a certain level of disrespect and a certain level of shit you're gonna take to where you literally have a fucking like you have a killer mechanism that goes off in your brain, like, hey, man, I gotta kill this nigga. I gotta kill him. I'm telling you, like if y'all niggas don't understand that, bro. So like as a man, bro, you literally have a button or a switch in you that goes and says, hey, I might have to kill this individual but for the sake of my ego, to establish my manhood and dominance and all these other things. He disrespected me to such a level that the only way I can get him back is to take his life. Every man has that in him. Every man. And because niggas aren't taught this by their fathers, niggas get to be ultimately disrespectful off the rip. Fuck you, nigga, this, that, other nigga, la, la, whatever. And I'm talking about instantly. I'm not talking about in replying. Well, Fantastic, you do all that same shit. Yeah, nigga, but I reply that way. That's what y'all don't ever understand. And like I said, because niggas don't understand chemistry, teammates, leadership, reciprocity, and giving back what you get back. That's why motherfuckers like me always end up being the bad guy. Because I understand, bro, like if you show me a certain level of disrespect, you don't give a fuck about me as a person, individual, and you really don't care about my life. There's certain shit that niggas say to you, bro, where they let you know, like, so it's like that. So if this nigga had the chance, and listen, this is what y'all need to understand, bro. A lot of shit in this world that if there was no consequences for it, people would do it. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all about this motherfucking anarchist, lawless society that everybody think they just want and they can survive in and whatnot. No, you wouldn't, bro. You wouldn't last a day. Most of you niggas wouldn't last 6 hours. And an hour depending on where you are really. If some real purge shit happened, bruh, y'all niggas be scared to motherfucking go outside. Y'all be scared to peek out your window. But what you gotta understand, bro, is when a motherfucker has a certain level of disrespect, right, bruh, they letting you know if they had the opportunity and the chance, bruh, they would kill you in the street and walk away like it was nothing. I have that understanding. That's why I always approach shit on the humble. I always approach shit on the, some brotherhood type shit or whatnot, what have you. And I try to give motherfuckers plenty of situations and plenty of rope and opportunity and chances. Because I understand, bro, as a black man, life is extremely hard. I've been there. I've been to the point of where, bro, I wanted to fight everybody because my life was fucked up. I was snapping at everybody because my life was fucked up. I had my own personal shit that was so heavy that I couldn't hide it. I couldn't mask it. I couldn't swallow all the shit that fucking life was throwing me, bro. I couldn't flush it fast enough. So the shit was coming out to the people around me, whether it be family members, work, all this other shit, right? But it's some motherfuckers, bro, that just like that all the time. They never fucking garner the fucking level of maturity, emotionally, mentally, to take care and cope with shit that goes on in life, bro. So they just like fuck everybody all the time. And the most important, the best thing you could ever do is learn when you see that motherfucker, bro. You see a motherfucker like that, it's just, man, fuck everybody. Fuck that nigga, fuck this nigga, fuck that bitch. Bro, you need to stay away from that person, bro. Because like I said, that motherfucker there, he don't give a fuck about you. They don't even really give a fuck about themselves. And instead of them doing the things that's necessary to make themselves and improve themselves to the point of where they can cope with the bullshit that life is throwing them, they much rather just say fuck everybody and go around being miserable as fuck. Being a motherfucking human wrecking ball. You gotta learn these motherfuckers, man. You gotta know what you're looking at and who you're looking at. And that's the majority of niggas. That's why I keep telling y'all, man, I don't fuck with niggas. That's why I told y'all about certain individuals, bro. I understood it like because I grew up around and with niggas, I have a fucking degree, a PhD in niggas. Is that to say that all niggas is bad and there's nothing good to get from them or whatnot? No, again, you can learn something from anybody, bro. Wisest man you ever meet in your life could be a homeless man on the street. Give you the most motherfucking insightful and best advice you can ever fucking get. All right? Or even I keep telling you, man, you can learn the best lessons you ever learn come from a fool. All you gotta do is sit back and watch them. But at the same time, man, listen. If and when you understand that a person is a nigga, 100% nigga, don't give a fuck about themselves and or you or nobody else, bruh, leave the fuck alone. You can't build anything with that person. You can't be a teammate with that person. That person has nothing of value to give to you. And even if they do have something of value to give to you, it's not going to pan out. The net of it is not going to be positive. in the long run. They're gonna cost you so much in the long run, and at the end of the fucking equation, that it's never gonna be worth whatever their initial or continuing contribution is. I'm telling you, it's not what I think, it's what I know. You gotta learn about these motherfucking horrible motherfucking teammates, man, and bad fucking leaders. And the worst thing about it with us is that's who gets to be the leaders. You know, alpha this, alpha that. I got money, nigga. You broke, nigga. This and the other. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, man. Okay, but okay. So, all right, cool. So, I'm a broke nigga. I'm a beta nigga. I'm a this. I'm a that. I'm whatever you say I am. You know. All right. So, what's the plan? Plan? What you talking about a plan, nigga? We ain't no motherfucking plan, nigga. I got this money, nigga. I'm fucking these hoes, nigga. I'm the motherfucking leader, nigga. Do that. No, okay. I'm cool with that, brother. I agree with you. Everybody else here has appointed you the leader. Everybody else here seems to think that you have the qualities of being the leader. We should listen to what you're saying. So what I'm asking you, sir, is now that you are the leader, you know, that word leader means leadership, means you're going to give the direction. You're going to give the orders. You're going to tell us what we need to do in order to be successful. What are they? Please and thank you. Nigga, didn't I just tell you? All right, bro, you got it. You know what? Yeah, I'm quitting the team. You guys can, if you guys don't want to trade me, I'll just retire, you know? But I would like to be traded. That's the majority of niggas, man. That's the quote unquote black community. You get the leadership crown. You get to tell everybody what they need to do and all this other shit and all this, and everything off the strength of, you know, swag, money, fucking bitches. In the big scheme of motherfucking succeeding in life, in the pursuit of power, okay? Recognition amongst the world for control and dominance of whatever it may be. Swag, fucking hoes, I got money. That's nigga logic. And if you say something bad about it, or you come up against it, oh nigga, you broke. Oh nigga, you ain't got no bitch, you ain't got no hoes. Or nigga, you hating. Why you hating, nigga? Why you hating? Why you hating? Brother. I'm not hating. I just simply asked you a simple question. You're the leader. I acknowledged you that. When I said you're the leader, I was acknowledging your leadership. I was actually motherfucking falling under or behind your lead by acknowledging that you are and you withhold the title of leader. Okay? All I'm simply asking is now that you are the leader and I understand what leadership is, well, you know what? Hey, maybe this. Do you know what the leadership means, bro? Can you give me your definition of leadership? I'm in charge, nigga. All right, bro. Yeah, you're right. Hey, man, y'all got that trade ready yet, bro? Is my trade paperwork ready, or should I be putting it in my motherfucking retirement, nigga? Y'all not about to Barry Sanders me, nigga. You're not about to Barry Sanders me. All right? No. You're not about to motherfucking Calvin Megatron Johnson me, nigga. No. I am not going to be forcefully held hostage on a bad team that's never ever going to fucking win and waste my great talents, my God-given talents, the thing I have to offer that can actually motherfucking help us win if you either made me the leader or put the necessary things around me that I actually need. I've shown the fucking qualities, not just the ability. I have tact, I have intelligence, I have strategy, I have patience, I have timing, I have all these things plus the natural gifts. You don't understand that shit, man. You're not gonna fucking do what I need you to do or put me in a place of where we need to be. Hey, by all means, man, just release me. But again, niggas don't want to do that. Niggas not gonna release you. Niggas not gonna let you just go on your way and start something new and be successful. Niggas go, you know, they gonna make up rumors, they gonna lie. They'll say what you didn't do about this, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. You had a motherfucking 1,000-yard season, 100 motherfucking touchdowns. But the only thing they gonna show, these niggas gonna make up a highlight reel of you dropping passes. Y'all understand? Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't even understand, bro. This is how just toxic like niggas are when it comes to teamwork and teammates, man. Shout out to Son of Top Rock, man. Appreciate you, brother. Niggas want a title and the benefits of being a leader, but none of the responsibilities that follow it. Sounds familiar. Yeah, man. Oh, most definitely. But now, let's get to the teammates. All right? Let's get to the teammates. Let's get to the people that are just supposed to be on the team. You know, the Zoe Williams, the Eric Gordons, you know, those individuals. As to where, yeah, they bring their things to the table too. They serve their purpose, but they're supporting roles at best. Not just average at best, but supporting roles at best. And I want to say average at best because they do have their times when they're gonna shine. I.e., like, an NBA player that's a role player dude that goes off for a game or a 30-point game, or they hit, 9 threes in a game, or whatever it is. They hit the game winner, come through in the clutch when it really, really matters every now and again. So that's why I would never say they were average. But they're still role players. They're never going to be able to be depended on for the heavy load for a consistent basis. All right? Never going to be able to be dependent on that shit. Never going to be able to be dependent on for the nightly basis to go out and give you motherfucking 25, 30 points per game. It's just not in them. But in their mind, it is. And they think that's the case, and they think if they was given the fucking opportunity to be put in your shoes, that they would be able to fucking produce it. Yeah, man, that nigga, he all right, man. I ain't gonna take it that far, man. Hey, but I can do that shit too. I can do that too. I can do it too. I can do it too. What? Hold on, brother. Wait, what? Shout out to Ron Brown for the 5. Thank you, brother. I can do that shit too, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can do that shit. That shit ain't that hard. I don't know why y'all that nigga dick and all that shit like that, bro. He all right. He all right, but he ain't special. You know what I mean? I'm special, nigga. And it's like, brother, okay, you're so special, you get his results. If you're so special, replace him and get his results. Oh man, well, it ain't that, man. It's these dumbass fans, man. These niggas hating him, bro, and they don't like it. They just don't know what they looking at, so they don't recognize. No, bro, no. Ain't got nothing to do with the fans, brother. We need you to give equal to or more than the person that's the leader, the guy that's ahead of you. Produce what he's producing. Just do it. Just do it. That's the wonderful thing about motherfucking productivity, man. And when you put measurements on shit, all right. Mind you, there's nuance to that. Even there's nuance to it. There's nuance to fucking a nigga being good or great or whatnot, what have you, right? There's nuance. The ability that a person gives, right? I was just having shout out to Mace Taggart. I was just on Mace last night. One of the biggest things that I hate about LeBron fans, and when they give up they make or anybody, when it comes to people tearing down the legacy of like Kobe Bryant, they're like, oh man, Kobe, look at it, he only averaged 25 whatever points per game, and he had the most misses of anybody, and this and other shit. I'm like, well, look, bro. Tell me the other fucking GOAT level player, all time greatest of all time level player that had to wait fucking 9 seasons in order to get his own team. I'll wait. For him to become the primary, without question, number one option, tell me, give me the name. You know what they can't do? They can never do it. because the person doesn't exist. Kobe Bryant is a one of one in that situation. All-time great player that didn't have his own team until another all-time great player finally left and got traded because the franchise believed in him and took the younger guy versus the older guy. Hold on real quick, y'all. Hey, shit. Hold on. So, I know I'm muted. Hold on. Let me see. I want to trying to join my own meeting. So I'm trying to switch over from this one. Wait a second. I'm trying to switch over from my phone to my damn. What's the name? Let's see how the hell I'm do this shit. Oh man, what's going on? Hold on. God damn it. Shit. All right, fuck it. I'll figure it out. I'll play around with it. But either way, like I was saying, man. Let me see. Everything that happened between Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad took place within a few months. Malcolm was trying to come back after he got past his ego and emotions. Do it. I'm in Ra. No, brother. I don't agree with that at all. Malcolm X shit was actually Malcolm was on the side of honesty and truth. It had nothing to do with the ego. It had nothing to do with the ego. Malcolm X was the one that was on the side of right in that situation. Treese O'Neal had a perfect LeBron analogy on the OP and Anthony Elliott was called I endorse hate speech. Yeah, let's see what. Damn it. Hey man, let me see. Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to pretty much, I guess, switch over from my phone to my computer. One of you tech nerds, help me out. I'm trying to look for like the fucking meeting thing. If I could do that, I could just. Right. Let me see something. Meetings. Okay. So let me see this shit. Okay, someone's trying to shit. Well, no. No. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, hold on. No, cancel. All right. So, fine. Or maybe I could just, hold on. So, hold on. Let's see something. Yeah, Sam. What the fuck? Okay. So, how the hell do I get from this one to the other one? Hold on. Let's see. God damn it. I say it's ego because he went public because he was busted from his post. No, well, I don't think it was that he was busted from his post, man. He was actually doing the right thing. That's why he got busted from his post because they found out he was pretty much doing the thing, man. Yeah, Corey Holcomb don't give a fuck though. That's his personality. That's on Zoe Williams. That's Zoe Williams' fault for putting himself in that position to be abused like that. He know who the fuck Corey was. He was just, and this is the problem when you get with role players, right? What they'll do is they'll pretty much hang around until their own demise comes one day, just for the sake of just being around or being on a winning team. That's the biggest part about wanting to be a perpetual role player and never graduating up to the leadership position. Is you pretty much as a man decide to put up with another nigga shit, no matter how fucking disrespectful it is, knowing that one day it's gonna be your turn. And because you don't have the talent, you don't have the heart, you don't have the whatever it may be to get out and fly on your own, you sit idly by until again he turns the gun on you. You know what I'm saying? That's the risk you run of choosing to be a fucking forever role player ass nigga. To be a forever role playing ass nigga, man. That's what you decide to do the moment you fucking come into that shit. God damn it, man. There we go. Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see where we at. Hey, oh shit. Yo, so can y'all hear me? I open up all kinds of shit. I'm switching over from my fucking computer. Bear with me, niggas. Bear with me.
Bear with me. I got it figured out. I figured it out. It's a big old bomb. Let's see where we at. God damn it, go to the motherfucking link. All right, cool. All right. So, hey, can you, yep, you can hear me? Good, 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 good. Great, great, great. All right, so let me do this. All right, cool. All right, great. All right, so now we good. All right, figured it out. There we go. Cool. All right. So, yeah, it is. I had to get my shit right, man. I had to transfer over from my phone to my computer. All right. So, took me a little minute. So what happened, man, is you had Zoe sitting around pretty much waiting for what happened to him. Because he's not the all-star guy, he's not the lead guy, he's not the front guy, he's not the talented guy, he's just a supporting role guy. He did this to himself. Because again, Corey had showed him all this before with several other individuals, and he just said, hey, because I'm around this nigga and all this other shit and whatnot, what have you, he's not gonna do it to me. Or if he do it to me, it won't be that bad and all this other shit. No, nigga, no. You run the risk whenever you show a motherfucker, bro. This is what I told y'all, bro. Listen to me. Listen to me. Whatever a motherfucker do to the motherfucker they don't like, okay, they will do it to you when they don't like you. Again, it has no gender. It has no age. It has no race. Okay? The motherfucker that'll walk down the street and just kick the homeless man in the face just because he's there, he would do the same thing to your ass, nigga. Imagine you laid up in your cardboard box, all nice and cozy and shit. You got your hood over your head. Bam! Nigga give you a goddamn John Jones shin kick to the motherfucking back of your skull while you laying down. You down on your luck and shit, and come to find out, like, hey man, what the fuck? What the fuck, nigga? Why the hell would you? What? Robert, that's you, Robert. What the fuck, Robert? Why the fuck would you? Hey man, you know, man, I just be kicking niggas in these bones, man. You should have had your face out, dog. You know what I'm saying? You would have had your face out, you know, and you just facing the curb. I could have seen it was your face. I wouldn't have kicked you. I would have kicked the next bum. Y'all don't understand it about niggas, bro. You have to become motherfucking like extremely fluent in nigga ways, bro, and individuals and their personalities. You have to, because if you don't, bro, you're literally fucking playing with you're just playing with your own fucking future, possibly your safety in your life. Is a reason why they tell you, man, hey, it's 2 times the motherfuckers tell you the truth, when they're drunk and when they're mad. You ever want to hear the truth from a motherfucker? Hey, get them tipsy or get them pissed the fuck off. And whatever you want to motherfucking hear, you will soon find out. Enzo found out. This is why, again, even if you're a role player, you become so good at something as that role player as to where that person has to have you and you can't just easily be replaced. You know, it's a lot of intangibles in that, but it's still a lot of productivity at the same time. Again, Horace Grant was probably, to me, when it comes to Horace Grant and Robert Horry from a basketball sense, are the 2 greatest role players ever. There was never going to be the 1-2 punch option. They were never going to have their own team. They were never going to be even like, all-star caliber players. But for a great team, you could always count on them to do what you needed them to do. And they understood that. They understood it. Everybody's not meant to be Michael. Everybody's not meant to be Kareem. Everybody's not meant to be Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, whoever. But if you want to be a part of the winning team, you have to be willing to play your role. Okay? You have to be willing to play your role. And again, ego is what prevents niggas from doing that. Little Rock 2517. Hey, holler at me about 3 more years, bro. We'll talk. ain't got it right now. Holler at me about 3 years though. Nah, Agon. Manu could have had his own team, man. I don't see Manu as a role player. I see what you're saying. Young Swift, stop it, young fella. You make yourself look bad. Stop it, Young Swift. Appreciate that, Mose, man. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, man, you have to be willing to, whatever your role is, become a specialist in that role, understand it, and do it extremely well. That makes you extremely vital to the team and a necessity. It's just like the human body, bro. What's more important, the heart or the brain? Right? That's an age-old question. Well, shit, if the brain don't work, your heart don't work. Well, if your heart don't work, your brain can't get motherfucking blood to it to work. So, I mean, is the brain more important than the heart, or is the heart more important than the brain? They can purposely put people in motherfucking coma, man, and pretty much, have your ass running on autopilot. But at the same time, hey, they can put a fucking fake heart in your body too, and do it that way. But then you get to it. Okay, what about your hands and your fingers? You can't eat, you can't feed yourself. How do you get the nourishment to keep your body going, to keep your brain working properly? All those other things. You can't see. How do you know where you're going or where danger's coming and all these other things? Listen, even the supporting cast keep the main thing safe. Like what's the most underrated motherfucking thing of all is like your lungs. Nobody ever talks about your lungs. You know what I'm saying? You never think about that shit until you ever had cracked ribs or broke some ribs, bro? The two most excruciating fucking pieces of pain I ever felt in my life, bro, was my fucking disc slip, my disc slipped in my back, in my spine, and cracked fucking ribs, bro. When I tell you cracked ribs was like the most painful shit ever, bro, like, oh my God. But no one talks about the lungs. The lungs just sits in the cut, does its thing involuntarily, supplies oxygen to the blood, which blood goes to the brain. You need the brain to work. Motherfucker, you can't breathe, bro. Hey, that's one of the first things you definitely know. You having a heart attack, hey, you may, people say, you start getting a pain or whatnot in your left arm and, certain things start happening. You may not be sure. Let your ass not be able to breathe, nigga. You know that immediately. You stop sucking that goddamn air, nigga. That's some shit you ain't got to ask nobody about. Put your head on that motherfucking water and let somebody start choking your ass out. real quick or choke on some shit. Your ass know real quick. Be the lungs, nigga. Be the lungs. You know what I'm saying? Be happy with that shit, man. And that's the biggest thing too. And what great leaders do, right? And it's not always gonna be, in the harshest, in the nicest of tone. Sometimes you have to get harsh with motherfuckers, especially grown ass men, bro. Be like, look, nigga, this is what you do, okay? This is your role. This is what you're supposed to do. Be great at that. You do this well. Keep doing it. But at the same time, nigga, stop trying to motherfucking operate outside your fucking lane because you fucking everybody else off by, you know what I'm saying? Lungs don't pump blood, nigga. They breathe oxygen. They process motherfucking oxygen, bro. Lungs don't control the fucking motor functions of the rest of the body, nigga. They supply oxygen. Stop trying to motherfucking be something you're not. That's the hardest thing for fucking black men to ever understand. Hardest thing. And they spend more time trying to make themselves out something that they're not, or trying to deny the fact that somebody really is what they're looking at versus working together for the fucking win, bro. A lot of motherfuckers want the motherfucking individual stats over the ring, over the championship. Motherfuckers want to hear that dun 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 more than anything else. And trust me, man, I know. Life would be fucking perfect being goddamn Michael Jordan, man. It'd be great being goddamn Randy Moss. It'd be great being motherfucking Patrick Mahomes right now. Even though he's a light-skinned nigga. But nah, man. Sometimes you gotta do the fucking that O-line, bro. Without that O-line, Patrick Mahomes can't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Without them motherfuckers giving him all that motherfucking time in the pocket, it'll be a whole lot harder for him to work that magic. Bro, be the O-lineman, man. Do the dirty work. Be willing to get in the motherfucking trenches. I keep trying to tell y'all, man, a lot of the times, like you said, when the leader of that team comes to you and fucking lets you know, hey, man, we could not have did that shit without you. You got to motherfucking take that shit as the reward that it truly is for you to know. And you have to internalize that in your own mind to understand, hey, had I not did my job, my role, my specialty, the team would have won. Don't worry about what the fucking outside motherfuckers looking at can see. Listen, just like, most fans are casuals. Most fans don't know what the fuck they're looking at other than just entertainment. They can't break down the intricacies of whatever the game may be. They just know the end fucking product is we won. The shit that don't show up in the stat book, so to speak. If you fucking listen to the fans, bro, you will forever be miserable. If you're waiting and listening for the cheering of the fans to fucking say your name, you will forever be miserable. You have to be content with being you and being fucking, strong in what you do, what you bring to the fucking table. Being a role player doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be if you allow yourself to be stagnant, if you allow yourself to be something that's where you really aren't needed that much, or you decide to stay on a bad team with bad leadership, i.e. Corey Holcomb, i.e. fucking James Harden. A team's only going to go as far as the leader takes them. And what we're trying to do here is change the motherfucking dynamic of who the leaders are in the black community, starting with fucking intelligent, intellectual, smart black men. That's what we're doing here. Are you going to get it right all the time? No. Are you going to win all the time? No. But again, every fucking loss is what? Is just a learning opportunity. Is a means to try and get better. But let me go ahead and open this shit up for y'all, man. I ain't gonna see what we at. God damn it. Let's see what we at. Let's see. There we go. Invite. Yeah, man, I gotta hear what y'all think about this dude. Dude, because man, I felt, man, it was funny. It was funny, and it was fucked up at the same time, man. It was funny and fucked up at the same time. For him to do his mans like that, I was just like, bruh, what the hell are you thinking about? What in the hell you got going on with this damn man to allow this dude to talk to you like this all crazy? Because had he hooked off on him, bro, I wouldn't even. I'd be like, hey, man, that nigga earned that shit. He definitely earned that shit. Every motherfucking punch, every elbow, he earned it. Go tell that man, hit that man with, you are the weakest link, with bass in his voice. Like, damn, nigga. Like, what? Furniture moving, nigga. Furniture moving. Furniture moving instantly. Instant furniture rearrangement. Right there on goddamn, nigga. You say I told something up last time, nigga. We about to tear some shit up today, nigga. Definitely about to tear some shit up today. With your ass first, nigga. Astro, I can't tell, man. Listen. If they bros, and we'll see. And like I said, Astro, you do have. That's a great point, man. When you fight your brothers, bro. That's why I say, listen. You fight your brothers, but again, man, you don't fight your brothers out in public. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be careful too, and be considerate of what's going on, man. So, Astro, he wanted to fight that nigga so bad. He wanted to hook off on that nigga so bad because Corey kept like, and Corey was egging it on. That's what made it so bad. And let's switch over to motherfucking James. Man, y'all see, bro. So James Harden had a fucking whole fat suit on, bro. James Harden was finessing niggas, just like he was finessing his way to the fucking free throw line. This nigga had a fat suit on, bro. This nigga putting extra jerseys and shit in his warm-ups to make it look like he all fat and out of shape and whatever. Now this nigga show up the motherfucking show up to Brooklyn. Show up to Brooklyn looking like a fitness model and shit. What the fuck going on, man? What the hell James Harden got going on, bro? Wise will exactly, but like Wise, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with Zoe. That's Zoe's fault. I definitely would have had to find out that way. AAA 2782. I would have had to find out that day. He hooked. Hey, nigga, you hooked off on Ari Spears. But we definitely would have had to catch that motherfucking fade after the show. That's what I'm saying. He could have just got. That's what made it so bad. He just stayed there and like stewed in it. He stayed there. He didn't bounce out. He stayed in it, bro. He stayed in that shit. Who needed to get paid, Young Swift? What the hell you talking about? Nah, Astro. Bro, I ain't taking that. Bro, I ain't taking that kind of shit from my blood brother. Nigga, you do that shit to me on air, nigga. You get, hey, you about to be motherfucking. You about to be dodging some air. Cause these motherfucking hands I'm finna throw at you finna have a lot of velocity behind it, nigga. Sir Tice, man, you got to get your connection together, man. Say you still trying to connect your audio, bro. You got to hit the connect. What's the name? I think it's internet and phone or whatever, over internet and phone. Yeah, bro, that's not no sir, not that type of embarrassment. But like I said, shout out to Zoe Williams, man. Again, Zoe Williams had the ultimate patience, and you know he showed the ultimate constraint or restraint because, man, you know they say nigga you better than me. That shit right there, and like I said, he kept trying to, you know, de-escalate, and at a certain time, man, you just gotta know, bro. Hey, man, this ain't gonna go nowhere. Let's just move on, bro. Let's just leave it alone. Let's just drop it and let's just move on because this shit's not gonna get us nowhere. And we only making shit worse by even having a combo or having the shit be nah, Aegon. That nigga had a whole motherfucking was it Miss Doubtfire and Nutty Professor suit on, bro? No way. No, Wazville TCP. That's not it either. He's oh shit. Damn, Sir Tice, your ass always at some party, nigga. You forever partying. What's up? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Sir Tice. You got a rave, nigga?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you. I think he muted up. Let me see. Did you mute up? Nah, you good.
1 second, fan.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Hey, bro. No disrespect to the show. I thought I was trying to dial in or whatever. I was just watching this bar or what have you, and I just because you're talking about one of my favorite topics. So salute, man.
No problem.
Real quick, and no, I'm not at a rave, motherfucker. I did.
You got that money. You always got some music and commotion going on in the background, man. You definitely be knowing all the spots at 24/7.
Hey, man, no, real talk. With this whole working from home and all that stuff, you have to sometimes get out and just change up your scenery, man. And even like I'm having a beer right now, I don't like drinking at home and shit, and I'll go out and watch the game and I can talk to people. But let's just get into this role player, knowing your role and all this. Some of the examples. I can't see the chat, but I was commenting to shout out to brother Young Swift or whatever. He's a good young brother who knows some of the hits. Very surprised by some of the name change he named. But I had mentioned a guy like Dennis Rodman. I'm not going to make necessarily a hoop thing. I'm going to kind of tie it into your theme. But I mentioned a guy like Dennis Rodman. And offensively anemic SOB, but a guy who you want on your team definitely because he gonna do that dirty work, okay? Many people forget when David Robinson got his MVP, it was because Dennis Rodman was taking those tough matchups. He was guarding Hakeem most of the time. I'm talking about the year that David Robinson won MVP. But even just in modern thing, since you're a big hoop fan, you remember Tony Allen, Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah.
I mean, is that not a guy who's a hardcore role player who was important? Okay, they talk about like with the Boston Celtics of 2008. They talk about obviously the Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and the KG, but they forget about a guy like Tony Allen, who is going to be defending the best player on the other team. You feel me?
Yeah, and like you said, I'm glad you brought him up. Kobe gave Tony Allen props. And that's why I tell people all the time, man, listen, you don't really give a fuck about the fans, man. You can't care about the fans and about the people that really don't know what they're looking at, their opinions of what's really going on. you gotta just know with the people that are in the craft or the people that are in the field that you're talking about. I tell you gotta get comfortable with, again, bro, a nod or a wink or whatever from the eyebrow raise from the master is better than a whole motherfucking stadium cheering for you, bro.
Thank you. You said 2 points about this. Okay, so we'll use someone like Kyrie Irving, who a young man in the chat, I think his name is Triple A. I can't see Triple A something. I salute to that young brother. Kyrie Irving is the most talented point guard, but he is not the best point guard because to me, I consider him like a Stephon Marbury NBA version 2.0. They're more shoot first point guards. And that is the absolute worst type of point guard to play with. Okay? In other words, you're not going to be seeing that rock too much unless they're triple team or they put themselves in a corner where they got to, pass you the ball and shit. But it was something that you just said that about Kobe and giving. What really pisses me off about Kyrie Irving is this, Mr. Fantastic. Kyrie Irving's godfather, I think, is Rod Strickland, right? Mm-hmm. Man, Rod Strickland is one of the coldest point guards that people forgot that could get to the hoop, but he couldn't shoot worth shit. But doesn't matter or whatever, he could get to the hoop, he could set guys up. So him just knowing these skills, but he's just all about himself, man. And we've seen it, I love when he broke away from LeBron and no. When you play with LeBron, you got to play the LeBron James system, as you and me refer to it as. Shout out to Chronicles, But we see what he's about. So I'm just simply saying, man, and this ties into real life with a lot of brothers, everybody can't be the star. Everybody ain't going to be Michael. Somebody's got to be Tito, Randy, Jermaine. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
Hey, feel free to chime in. I was... my thoughts.
I was in you, rock, man. Listen, and Young Swift, man, I'm gonna need you. Don't be smoking them tweeds and drinking that wine, young fella. Stop it, bro. There's this guy named Magic Johnson. There's never gonna be any more skilled fucking point guard than him. So get him out of here. But Kyrie really isn't a point guard. He's a he's like a flex or a combo guard. Yeah, he should be a 2, but they just won't move him to the 2. So Kyrie really isn't a fucking point guard. But anyway, man, like you said, this whole thing that happens when you get to this point of, team building, teamwork, teammates, team leaders is niggas don't understand nothing in team. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand how team dynamics work. And everybody just wants to get their own shit off. Everybody just wants to be the person that gets all the limelight and the shine.
Exactly. I remember my point now. One of the things that pissed me off, listen, when people say goofy shit like the NBA is a players league, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's a star players league. Yep. Okay, it's not a players league. Trust me, Trevor Ariza is not dictating any trades. Okay, Myers Leonard is not dictating any trades. So I won't get into the James Harden thing yet, but I'm going to say this. What pisses me off, fan, I got a perfect example to use this for it. I'm actually give you some insight into this. So we're going to use Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard was the last, in my opinion, well, we got Jokic right now, but Dwight Howard could have been a great center, talked in the Moses Malones, KAJs, Hakeems, right? He had the athleticism. You're telling me you have the opportunity to work with Hakeem Olajuwon. You're in Houston, and you don't. And now when your athleticism wands and your back issues, get into you, and you have no post moves, you have nothing. But real quick, what messed him up, man? My best friend, Dwight Howard's auntie works for him. Okay. And when he was in Orlando, they misdiagnosed his back, okay? And that's what created the contempt with him. But he was still a better, I won't say better than average, still a very good center. He just needed to work on some fundamentals. I've heard that Kareem, when he went to LA briefly, that Kareem tried to reach out to him to work. He denied that, and we saw what happened in Houston. And this is what pisses me off with these guys, man. It's like, wait a minute. You telling me everybody likes to talk about themselves, okay? You're telling me you have access to these guys and they're willing to work with you. Hell, you could throw them a couple $100,000 and won't be missing shit. But you opt not to work for them. And now we see why Dwight Howard is on his damn near 9th or 8th team as a role player. Nobody cares that he won a championship in the BLM Bowl, as I call it. You feel me? And that's what kills me with these guys is that your skills, listen, as much as I cannot stand LeBron James, I'm not going to make it about LeBron James because we know how his fanboys are. And I'll give LeBron this much credit. He's perfected his craft so much to where his jumper is money. Why is it these guys who have these gifts, and I'm not saying all of them, I'm just simply saying you can be better. These guys, these older guys, kind of like us, we want to show these younger guys, hey, here's what you could do this. And it doesn't have to be even a star player. It could just be somebody that's there. So that's just kind of my ramble on that. Oh, and everybody wants to be the star. And it don't work that way.
Yeah, man. And like I said, that's something that's a hard demon to kill. That's a hard demon to kill, especially like I said, for the black man, man. Our superpower and our kryptonite is always the ego. Because you don't have your dad or any type of positive male leadership or role model around, mentorship aspect of it growing up young, you just think everything's supposed to go your way, and if and when it don't, you get to just
let's use a quick analogy. What's wrong with being an Austin Rivers? I don't like Austin Rivers. I think he's fucking average as fuck. But Austin Rivers is going to forever keep him in an NBA job, right?
Yep.
He's got a dad who can tell him, listen, son, you're not going to be, you're not even a starter, son. But you can stay on the team. Here's how you do it. Plus, I got pulled. But I'm just simply saying, and you look at these second generation players, well, not all of them, but I'm just saying people like Austin Rivers, who still can get, I think he's on the Sixers now, if I'm not mistaken, whatever. And I'm like, damn, this guy keeps him a fucking job. And nothing wrong with a $5 million a year job. Yeah, I don't care that James Harden or whatever is making $4 million. You making $5 million. Playing less than 30 minutes a game, right?
Yeah. And now Austin Rivers, I forget where he's not in Philly. He's somewhere, but he just had he had a monster game the other night too. He had a monster game sometime last week. I think he had like 37 points or something crazy.
It's not Philly. It's Dwight Howard who's in Philly. It'll come to me, and I'll do it without even.
Shout out to Black Wall Street. He's on the Knicks now. Yeah, he's on the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
Yeah, he just had a huge game on what's name. But yeah,
you're basically talking about. Let me help you out. You're basically talking about how sometimes you need somebody that'll nudge your coat, and like, hey, look, it's about being a team. Like, let me say this. There was an article. And Whitlock left Outkick, by the way. But Whitlock wrote a great article. I mean, we kind of talked about it, but I'm sorry, forget Whitlock for a second. While everybody got mad about Booger McFarland's comments about Dwayne, me, Haskins, one of the great points that he said was, where are the brothers coming in the league saying, what can I do to be a team player? What can I do to stay in this league? What can I do to be a better person? I know that shit's corny. It's not lit, right? And people got mad at the wrong thing, but he is right, Mr. Fantastic. What's wrong with holding the clipboard and learning from, Frank Reich is a fucking head coach from holding the clipboard. Am I wrong? Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach from holding the clipboard. If you got this kind of knowledge and you can pass it on and you really enjoy the game, it can reward you years after you're not playing. But us brothers, I don't mean us specifically, but you get me, everything got to be the limelight on us, spotlight on me. Nigga, You can't be Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry, but making $5 to $10 million a year, teaching other people how to get to that, there's no shame in that. You there?
Yeah. We got somebody new in the building. Brother, what's going on? I don't know if that's your real name. So, he dropped out. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say it.
Hey, real quick, why'd you switch from Streamyard to Zoom?
Huh?
Why'd you switch from?
Because it was the lag. The lag was weird. So I guess I was good. I was good as long as I was talking to like by myself. But whenever you guys would come up, for some reason, I had like a 20-second delay with talking with y'all. So it was super weird. I don't know what it was. So
yeah, but go back to my latter point before the point. You know, I'm just simply saying about brothers. Okay, in my opinion, I think this comes from that whole matriarchal mindset of the attention's always got to be on them, and that floats down to the men that they've raised. Even though they had no parts in those guys' athletic journeys, it floats down to them.
Yeah, and like you said, man, that's the craziest part about it. Again, the lack of fatherhood, masculinity, and male leadership is why we end up the way we are. Again,
have you ever coached? Have you ever coached before?
Like little kids, yeah, but that's not like teenagers or what's the name? No, not really nothing major. And like player coach shit.
Are you considering it?
Possibly.
Hey man, good luck. I'm a little older. Well, I'm a lot older than you, but I'm just simply saying, man, with these. My point is that a lot of them don't even want to listen to black men. Like, let me say this. This kind of goes somewhat off your topic, but it is on your topic. Somebody was complaining to me about, like, I was telling them about how James Harden is a bitch, and a guy like him will never get you a championship because it's all about him. And he has a 10+ year track record of us seeing what he's really about. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So somehow it led to the Brooklyn Nets or whatever, and Steve Nash getting hired. I said, shut up. You have a multiple year MVP, whatever you think of Steve Nash. And I'm making this a bigger point. I said, you have a multiple year MVP who was actually working for the Golden State Warriors. So don't act like he was just gifted. But at the same time, he's an MVP. He's going to have more privileges than a non-MVP. But you're just looking at it from just the star guys that are coming here. And this is before Harden or whatever, right? So I said, if you really want to talk the real, the players got weed out of the testing because they care about smoking weed. So if they really wanted black coaches, they would make sure of that. But nobody wants to talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So these guys, they tell you what they care about or what have you. And that's why I said that's why that last championship, I don't really even consider that, because half of those guys was in it, half of those guys wasn't, half of those guys was sick of being there, you know. So you can't even look at that as a real championship, at least in my opinion, you know. But I'm not trying to knock it because you still got to play the game. I'm just simply saying that these guys, they got to, and I'm picking on the NBA for a reason, because for the perception of many fans, they see these guys as the top dogs of the sports, of athletes. And I'm like, no, they're just following 5 to 10 guys or whatever lead or what have you, you know. But guess what? They've created an environment where people can't stand watching their league anymore. I still watch because I'm just a purist, but I don't like it as much as I used to, man. And I'm going to admit that. But just bringing this all back home about the black coaches being a team player or being a role player. When you number one, playing AAU, playing at Oak Hill, and all this, and then you gotta finally get to the show or the NBA or, you know, the major leagues, and sometimes you gotta play off the ball, and you don't even know how to play off the ball because the ball's been in your hand all this time. That really exposes these guys.
Yeah.
Now I'll let you rock. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay.
No. I was looking. They was telling me about Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes is out. But it's the game over with, bro.
This game is over with.
Yeah, this
man.
game over with. Y'all telling me? I'm thinking. I'm not watching the game, so I'm thinking like, oh shit, it's like 3 quarters or whatever. But it's fourth quarter with fucking.
Whoa. Okay, I'm looking at.
Yeah, they just scored. They just
17-22. Yeah, 11 minutes. But 11 minutes is a world of time in the NFL. But yeah,
I'm saying, bro. I don't know.
No, go ahead. Let's keep talking.
But yeah, he literally just said that when I said this shit. Yeah, man, this whole thing just comes down to, like you said, this crazy dynamic of black men not knowing where to or what to do. Oh shit, I didn't see y'all got young fellas in this thing. My bad, y'all didn't say something. Where to and what to do for individuals, man, once you start get into a team setting or environment with other black men, bro. It's really hard for people to do because motherfuckers don't understand just what to do, you know? So the thing is, man, look at somebody that's successful. You like this is what people don't understand about the damn Golden State dynasty, right? So the Golden State dynasty happened because you pretty much had Steve Kerr, who came in and they made Steve Kerr the head coach. Despite all the work that Mark Jackson did for the team, you know, pretty much structured the team together, whatnot, what have you. Mark Jackson did not have the schemes that Steve Kerr had because Steve Kerr took a combination of all the teams and franchises that he had history with, and he pretty much incorporated it to one system. He took the triangle from Phil, he took the spread offense from Pop, and then he took the run and gun from when he was down there in Phoenix. So he was able to incorporate all those different styles and systems into one kind of coaching style. And, you know, that's what, and the defensive schemes and all the other things when it came down to the, you know, the crunch time or the clutch time and like the last 3 minutes and whatnot in the game.
There's even more to it, man. Continue. I believe the book is called Basketball Machine or something. Maybe that's the wrong title. But it was about how that dynasty was built. And the problem that Mark Jackson had, and you know, since we're both hoop fans, you know what the scuttle with Mark Jackson. They fired.
Yeah, we know how he blocked Bill. Yeah, we know what happened.
How you doing, sweetheart? They fired a black coach in this game. I said, no, when you're a guy that's on the street like this, there's a clip of Mark Jackson. I would beg anyone to YouTube it. Mark Jackson preaching in the street. God damn it! I'm trying to think of the black player on the team at the time, but the guy who was the number 1 pick, Bogut. I was gonna say when Bogut and a couple of black players were complaining about what he was trying to do religion-wise with the team. Now, I'm on your side about the Bible, okay? So don't think I'm one of these agnostic, atheist types. I'm not. But I'm not so much gonna be pushing that at my job.
Yeah.
Feel me? Okay, that's so. But well, Mark Jackson was to where his guys like, we gotta do another team prayer and shit or what have you, and it was really dividing the team. And then that team had some what's the term that we use here? Rainbow flag, alphabet. You know, they had some alphabet guy, and he was very vocal about it. Now listen. I stand with you on that same thing. But at the same time, if I got a XXX $1 million job or whatever, I'm not gonna risk that. I'm sorry, you know. But that don't mean I'm gonna embrace it. But I'm not just gonna be so vocal. So you're creating contempt and all these other things. So that was a lot of the reason why they went away from him. Now, what you said about the schemes is so spot on. That I didn't even consider that, you know, as how their dynasty was built. But the guy who bought the team, man, he was, I forget what he did for a living, but his whole style of management was he knows he didn't know basketball. Like I'm in front of a boat right now, right? I don't know shit about boating. He hired what he thought was the best boating guy that was in the business, that was available, that wanted to move up Bob Myers, what have you. So Bob Myers, the general manager who had all these innovative ideas, knew things about the metrics at the time and understood about, hey, we have these kind of players. Think about this, man. They went away from Monte Ellis when Monte Ellis was still shit for not Stephon Marbury, but Steph Curry, right? People forget that and how controversial that trade was, right?
Yeah.
And okay, now I'm going to tie this back to the team dynamics. Sometimes as a team player or as a leader, you're going to have to do decisions that are not going to be popular initially.
Exactly.
And many people do not want to go through that shit. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, no, exactly like you said, man. That's another big thing about leadership. When you're the team leader, you're gonna have to be deal with the unpopular decisions, and again, not listening to necessarily what the fans want. It's what if you're trying to win, man, you got to pretty much know how to close everything and everybody else out. That's not about the long-term winning of the team. It's like the Spurs, right? The Spurs was one of the most boringest of boring teams ever.
That's not boring. They're not boring to me, but
I
know what you said.
Yeah. To the casual fan, to the
Right.
non-basketball mind, Spurs are boring, and they were actually bad for the NBA when it came to the finals because you know what I'm saying they play actual defense. You didn't really have any high flying, extremely athletic people. Tim Duncan is probably like the most unassuming, GOAT level player.
Tim Duncan is the greatest player of the 2000s, and he don't get the credit he deserves.
I don't know.
He ain't better than no Shaq.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Shaq after 2004 was finished. You look at Shaq's stats in the 2006 finals.
Oh shit!
Hold a second. In 2004, after 2004, when my Pistons beat them, you go to Miami. Okay, that was his breakout year. In 2006, Shaq averaged 12 in the finals.
He got injured in the finals.
Hey, guess what? Eric Crystal Chandelier Dampier shouldn't be able to stop Shaq or what have you.
No, he got injured.
I get what you're saying, but hear me out. After 2006, that's 6 years. Tim Duncan still rode from 2000 on to 2009 as still a top player. But
he was still great.
Well, yeah, and that's my point.
You forget about Kobe though. Like, whoa.
Okay.
No,
You got me on that. Okay.
Hey, can I make a point real quick? Can I make a point real quick?
Jump in.
First of all, Mark Jackson they didn't get rid of Mark Jackson because of his so-called religious stance or what he was saying. They got rid of him because hold on, let me finish because I know this for a fact. They got rid of him because he wasn't 110% in. They didn't want him taking flights from church on Sunday trying to make it to practice on Monday. That's not what. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why they got rid of him. Now,
but that ties in.
Yeah, it ties in, but that was the deciding factor. Now, I just wanted to go on something that I heard Fantastic talking about earlier about the whole Corey Holcomb situation. Now,
I didn't even hear this. Set up the premise first, and then
I think Corey. I think they both was wrong, and here's why I say that. If I invite you, Mr. Tice and Fantastic, to my tip, and I say, okay, we're gonna drink some beers over here. Y'all happen to not get along. If your money not long, you don't reserve the right to kick Mr. Fantastic ass in my house because you can't afford to pay the bill on tearing my shit up. You see what I'm saying? So not only are you disrespecting, even though Mr. Fantastic might have disrespected you at my house, you can't kick his ass in my house and destroy my furniture and shit because you can't afford to pay the ticket when you do that. We not little kids no more. It's doctor bills, it's lawyers, it's all sorts of shit to come in when we start fighting because we not in the ring. So now you done disrespected Corey Holcomb by fighting in his studio because he could either lose his studio, you could tear his studio up real bad. Now I know Ari Spears is a piece of work, but you didn't reserve your money not long enough to behave like that. And the reason why I say they both wrong is because Corey Holcomb didn't take that lane or that ideal until that $20,000 ticket hit him upside the head. Now he building up animosity like, man, you say you the voice of reason, but you fighting people in my studio. So I get what he's saying, but he was grinning and laughing. It was all a joke until he had to pay that $20,000 ticket. You see what I'm saying? So the leadership came in by not allowing them get to the point where they're gonna start fighting in your studio. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, but at the same time, like I said, from that, if you want to use the Ari Spears aspect of it, cool, understandable. But you and that man got history on some almost brothers type level. So hey, that's cool. It is what it is. At the end of the day, for your team, you're gonna stand on that for your team. It's gonna be times, and that's gonna be another big thing too. Shout out to DSK, you brought another great point we gotta address here too. It's gonna be times where, like I said, you have teammates, bro, where you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta accept them for the mistake they make. If they're valuable and they've dedicated themselves, and they've helped you win, well, it's gonna be a time where they may come around and they fall, and you gotta hold them, you gotta carry them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let me use a perfect. DC,
in the United
DC,
States, brother.
DC,
go ahead.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Yesterday, Aaron Donald walked off the field or on the sideline was crying, and I have a sports group, and I was a sports fan, and these guys were laughing at him, and I'm like, "Are you MFers out of your motherfucking mind?" Damn, is that funny? I just said it that way. I want a guy. Pardon that. I want a guy that cares so much that he's crying, and y'all are mocking him. You know. And my point, and guess what? It was his players that was holding him up like, "Hey, dude, it's okay. We're gonna get him next year, whatever." But
I mean,
unfortunately,
that's just the that's like what Fantastic said. That's the casual fan, because the real fan understand that Donald has some broke ribs, and there's no one lineman in the league who can stop him.
Torn cartilage.
So, I mean, that type of heart and spirit about the love of the game, he putting 120% in. I don't care if you don't like the Rams. You gotta love that attitude, because that's what you want your player. That's what you want your player in your town or whatever sport he playing. That's how you want him to behave. But let me say this.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
My father told me one thing that was very important, and it go with all things. Everything you do affects somebody else. So if my money ain't long, I can't borrow your car, or I can't borrow Mr. Fantastic car and drive it like a steamer or like I done stole it, because I got to pay for this. Somebody got to pay for this. You don't get to behave and kick people's ass and move how you want to move, or whether it be their channel, or whether it be in real life at their house or wherever. You don't get to do that, because you wrong if you got money to cover your back end or whatever mistake you make. But you super wrong if you don't have no money to pay for the mistake that's made. So that's just my take on things.
No, that's a good point. Go ahead, fan.
Well, no, I was gonna say but like I said, at the same time, like I said, you sometimes it's gonna be a time where you gotta, when nobody else believes in your teammate or nobody else understands it, and they don't see how and why you're doing this for that person. That's what you do for somebody that's on the team, bro. And Corey did right by that. That's why I say you can't really say anything about him is all bad, but at the same time, you understand him in the ego aspect of it. You know, that was a big, like, you know, I guess dice roll that Zoe took the moment that Corey did him that favor, and he knew it, but you know, like I said, he didn't have the means to take care of it for himself, so it just was what it was.
Right. So Fantastic. So he couldn't afford. So that means that he couldn't afford to behave like that. Now let's keep it a buck. The only reason why he called Zoe the weak link is because his money long. Because Zoe is not the weak link. Zoe is the intellectual on the show.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and I agree, and that's what I said. And the $20,000 wasn't. I don't think it was studio damage as much as it was legal fees for the thing. It wasn't.
I don't. Hey, fan, can you, at a high level, can you tell me? Okay, are you referring to when Ari Spears was on that show?
Yeah.
And, oh boy. So there's some recent fallout or something.
Yeah.
Or?
Oh yeah. Bro,
I don't know. I don't know.
This like happened over the weekend, man. Over the not the weekend, because this is the weekend, but over the week, it was a big fallout between those two, man. So it's I think it's on their channel. He still got it up, so you can look it up on the 5150 show. And it's the last one they got on there. He left it up. At least it was like 2-3 days ago. It was still up, so it might still be up. But yeah,
no, but what are you saying? What are you saying that Corey Holcomb gave? I can't think of the light complexion dude's name.
Zoe Williams.
Zoe Williams. So what? He gave him the bill that.
Well, no, he didn't give him a bill. He just threw it in his face that he did him that favor, pretty much.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But
I get the context. My bad. No, go to somebody else.
Let me get Young Swift in here. What's up, Young Swift? What you got, young fella?
It was good, fantastic. It was good, y'all.
You got it,
What
bro.
up, young
Good,
Swift?
brother.
I got a question now. How is Scottie Pippen not a role player, bro?
Okay,
How is
very
he not a
simple.
role player?
Very simple. He is a role player, but he is considered the number 2 guy. Your number 2 guy is typically not necessarily the role. He is actually asked to be the man at times. In fact, to prove that he's not a role player, we can go to the 1994. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm right. 1994 semi finals in the playoffs when he was mad that, as what you were saying, a role player, the play was called to Mr. Tony Kukoc instead of him, and he felt that he was the star player, and he sat out this. This was covered for those of us that watched it, but this was also covered in the that bullshit Jordan
The Last
promotion,
Dance?
Last Dance. Okay, so and then let me add the second thing. When he was signed by Houston as a free agent, he was going to be the person. Akeem was getting old. Barkley was somewhat old. He was seen as the leader or whatever, but he was really, and that's what he came in as. But he was really what he was. But my point is that he played a role. I gave you examples of good role players. I named 5 of them of guys who are not stars.
Well, let me hop in real quick. Let me hop in.
I get that, but
hop in.
Bro, yeah. Listen, he's not a role player because he's a part of a tandem. A role player is, like I said,
Tony Allen.
Oh yeah, Horace Grant, Tony Allen, and Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. Let's see, even Tony Kukoc or somebody else.
No, because if that's the case, Draymond ain't a role player.
No,
Well,
can I please hop in here?
Jump in.
First of all, besides Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen was the best two-way player in the league. He could get you 20 points. He could get you close to 10 boards in the league that didn't have a stretch big. That's why you got all these point guards getting 10 rebounds now. Because hold on a minute, let me finish. Let me finish, because you got stretch bigs in the league. If your center standing at the three-point line, I bet a point guard can get 10 rebounds. Wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't no stretch big in the league. Scottie Pippen was able to get you 10 rebounds in the league when the big man is down low like they're supposed to be. He also could score 20 points. He just couldn't make the last shot.
He scored 20 points 1 year of his career.
But that's what I'm saying. He's not like that.
He also could get you 10 assists and was a good point guard. He was one of the first point forwards with 5.
Fantastic.
No, Scottie's not like that.
Guys, a role player is not a star.
So you telling me Scottie wasn't a great point guard? So you don't remember when Scottie Pippen stuck Mark Jackson for the whole game?
Play point. No,
I can say it in one sentence. My simple sentence is this: a role player is not game planned for. There it is.
Yeah, man. Listen, the young fella. Again, I mean, we will have to have this discussion about hooping.
Point guard.
That is incredible, bro.
Point guard.
I can't believe you. Yeah, Scottie Pippen was a good point guard.
Yes. Hey, he was the fucking perennial point forward, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
No,
that's not a role player. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, he was.
That's not a role player. You're not game planning for Tony Allen. You just know that Tony Allen is going to stick you. Let me give you a perfect example. Jimmy Butler is pretty much on steroids, except the fact that he can score.
No. He's about the same thing. That's a great point. Jimmy Butler and
that's disrespectful.
Jimmy Butler.
No. I'm saying he can score.
How
is that disrespectful?
No, that's disrespectful to Jimmy. You said they about the same. Jimmy Butler and Tony Allen.
Yeah, because they're guarding. Hey man, hold a second. What's the disrespect? Let me say this.
I thought you were talking about Tony Allen.
Fan, this is your show. I'll let you rock with it. What is this disrespect?
That's disrespectful.
Cut out. No. Yeah, the Tony Allen part I would agree with, but no. Jimmy Butler and Scottie Pippen is actually pretty accurate. It's a pretty good parallel.
Yeah, only Scottie had a better 3-pointer than him. Scottie had more elite defense than even Tony Allen and Jimmy Butler. Scottie also could run the show a lot better than both of them. And he stuck the best players in the league.
Yeah, bro. Y'all got it, bro. There was no better. The only person that was in the on-ball defense realm of Scottie Pippen was his teammate Michael Jordan. So like
exactly,
it was them. It was 1-2 or 1A, 1B, and then like skip 2 spaces and then like number 5.
No, but what I'm saying that when I think someone's not a role player, I'm thinking they're a superstar.
No.
Scotty's not a superstar. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Because you can be a star and not be a superstar. You can be a solid guy. Because Clay is not a superstar, but Clay is definitely a star. Clay could definitely.
I'll give you that.
Clay is in the.
That's all I want to like. I think he's above a role player, but at the same time, he's below a superstar.
But no, that's what I'm telling you. It's just certain dudes that just didn't get the opportunity.
Like, I'm sorry.
Nah, Scotty did though.
No, hold on a second. Guys. Can I say this? Serge Ibaka is a role player.
That's easy.
Okay, no. Well, I'm just giving you examples. You don't game plan necessarily for a Serge Ibaka, or even listen. As much as I dislike Scottie Pippen as a player, Scottie Pippen is a very good player. He's not elite. He's a very, I say very good. That's beneath elite, okay? There's only few elite guys. You guys are giving, if anything, calling him a role player is disrespectful.
I'm saying like he's a buffed up role player, like a superstar.
The only thing you can say about Scotty is you don't want him shooting the last shot. He's not clutch. He doesn't really have the nuts to take the last shot. Other than that, it's nothing really you can say about him.
But guys, we're confusing. I thought of some modern good role player guys. Tony Allen's out of the league now, so let's use some modern guys. Okay, Serge Ibaka was just as critical for Toronto, in their championship run. Let's go the year before. Draymond is actually a role player. They just elevate him like he's a star, but he's really not. And
they game plan for him.
Well, how do they game plan for him in a sense?
They got a game plan for Draymond, bro.
No, they don't.
He's a dirty word guy. You hold a second. Why does he get so many open? They'll let him shoot his three. You're not
he literally runs. He's literally how y'all describe Scottie Pippen, a point forward.
He's more defensive value. He's more defensively valuable.
No, but he's a point forward.
I mean, you can't compare errors, because if you want to compare errors, Draymond wouldn't even be a star if you go take him back in the old leagues.
Draymond is not a star.
He can't stick no real centers. He's not going to be able to rebound with no real centers.
Y'all gonna love this. I promise you. And proved to me last year this. I said Draymond is nothing but the Morris twins not playing for the Warriors. So you take the Morris twins.
Well, he got better defense than them.
Are you kidding me? The Morris twins, just like Draymond, are going to guard basically from 2 to 4 that best player. And by the way,
they were arguing if he was one of the best defenders in the league at one point.
Well, that's the media. We know that these guys, Max Kellerman and all those guys who put all this narrative into these casuals, they really don't even watch the Colin Cowherd. They don't really watch the games or know basketball. What I'm simply saying is there's nothing wrong. Okay, I got the perfect role player for you. Would you like one? Remember when Andre Roberson went back when Oklahoma City should have beat Golden State?
I got that one.
Andre Roberson is your role, and Andre Roberson, not Durant, definitely not Westbrook. Roberson, to me, it's an honor in that the team looking at you like, we need you to guard that team's best player.
See, my only problem with Roberson, this man played there 4 or 5 years, and he fixed his jump shot. He was freaking Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, bro. Stop looking
at but he's useless on offense.
No,
you can't have
bro. Dennis Rodman was useless off offense, and he got 2 teams championships.
No, but at least he scored. There were games.
What do you mean Dennis Rodman scored? Of course, anybody can score tip backs.
There were games Roberson went scoreless.
Okay, well,
he's a two guard that can't shoot. He
Here's
can't be a
another
two guard
modern
that
guy,
can't shoot.
Jared Allen, and I can't believe that the Nets traded them away for
Oh no, he's a
another
good role player too.
ball
He's a
pound.
good one.
He's another role player who's willing. Hey, if you've ever coached, well, you're a young man, so you haven't. Listen,
I mean, no, but
you
I'm a
want
player
these
though.
guys. Well, okay, you want these guys that's gonna do that garbage work. That's gonna let you not worry about that shit. Unfortunately, there's everybody comes in because everybody's an AAU stud. Everybody went to Oak Hill Academy or what have I don't mean everybody, but y'all get my point. You know, Steven Jackson could have been better than he was as a player if he would have accepted his role. And think about it. He was on the Spurs, I want to say 2003 team as a role player, and he was effective.
He was great on Golden State.
Star, and look at what that yielded him. Them. They beat Dallas, who was just basically an offensive team, and that and I can't remember the team, the We Are Warriors. The term will come to me, and they got eliminated. I think they got swept the second round. I mean, he's a good player, but if he would just accepted his role, hey, look, you're not a star. You can defend and you can score, which is what Young Swift is trying to say. Just do this. No, these guys are just fighting they want the ball in their hands, and that's him and Monte at the time too. I'll shut up.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we misusing this term role player. I mean, Scottie Pippen was definitely not a role player. I mean,
he's a superstar role player, bro. He's a superstar role player.
There's no such thing as the superstar. What name something that Scottie can't be doing on the basketball court?
What do you mean, Nate? He's an all-around player, but there's nothing besides defense that he does really well.
He can score 30 points, 25, 30 points really well. Yes, he can. Sometimes you got to look at the surroundings of a team before you judge like what a guy can do.
Scotty's not a scorer, bro. So
Scottie is definitely a scorer. Yes, hell yeah, Scottie.
So
Scottie
he can score like KD?
Score 30 points.
So
nah, he can't score. I mean, who can score like KD? That's not a good point. Nobody can score like KD.
Hey, LeBron
cannot score like KD.
Easier.
No, he cannot. He can't score like KD.
Can get 30 easier than Scottie.
He ain't been doing it, and he can't nobody score like KD.
But I'm saying KD gets 30 easily. Scottie ain't a scorer like that.
He can score. He can score, bro.
Young Swift, you gotta again, man. You have specialists. You have people that do certain things.
But he's saying that. But he's saying he can score.
As good as LeBron is, right, or even KD. I mean, LeBron was a two-way player at most for 3 years of his career. A real lockdown defender where he fucking was. Scottie Pippen did that in his career, bro. You know what I mean? He played both sides of the ball.
No, but I'm saying he's saying that Scottie could score 30 easy.
Nah.
Scottie could score 20, 30.
That's what I'm saying.
Scottie had a jump shot.
Like
you can't stop him from going to the basket. He was always on teams where he wasn't commanded to shoot them many times.
No. He got a chance.
With the year Jordan was gone, his highest scoring average was 23 points a game, man. He never scored over 23 points a game.
And they still won over 60 games because he didn't have to score that much. They had a good team.
But still, he didn't have it. He didn't have that clip in him like that, bro. Scottie was
but he's not a 30-point scorer. He's not.
Nah.
He's not the 30-point scorer, bro.
No, Scottie could definitely score 20, 25 points every night. Now, it'd have been nice he done dropped 30.
His average proved that. Nobody's arguing that. But to say
that's all I'm saying.
He could just
he wasn't ask you a question. Would you start a franchise around Scottie Pippen?
Yeah,
depending on
I would.
No.
If you had the first pick in the draft and you could choose all the players, would you choose Scottie Pippen as your number one?
Hold on,
who else in that draft?
Hold on. Wait. What are we saying? To know what Scottie Pippen, you saying so to know what Scottie Pippen came to be, the Scottie Pippen right now, where he peaked at?
I'm just saying, if you were to draft him, I mean, for everything that he's saying, I'm just saying, would you build a team around Scottie Pippen?
I would.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and get some pieces. But I don't like. I mean, I'm from Chicago. I watched all the games.
I can name you plenty of people that had teams built around them that were worse than Scottie Pippen, bro.
Scottie Pippen's not a franchise.
No, I'm not saying that.
The
but I'm
only
saying
reason
there's
why
better
I agree with Young
options.
Swift, the only reason I agree with that fact about starting a franchise around him is because the closing. I'm still not sold on his closing. But that's what.
Exactly.
But anytime you play with Michael Jordan for 10 years, shit, it's gonna be hard to see somebody else close because Mike gonna get
That's what
that
I'm
done.
saying though. How many? But listen, that's what I'm saying. How many other players were not closers? It's very few closers in the history of the league, man. Like I said, that's what I'm
Nah,
saying. So,
but if you get a chance to pick a closer instead of Scottie, I'm taking the closer.
well, no. No. And again, your pickings are going to be extremely slim. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You pick consistency and guaranteed product and results. That's the most thing people don't. You can't just pick the flashy guy, because if you pick the flashy guy, well, you pick Penny Hardaway, and okay, Penny Hardaway was good, but what happened? He's injury prone. Same thing with Grant Hill. Grant Hill's another great opportunity. Grant Hill could do it all, but what? Grant Hill wasn't healthy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So would you? So who are you? So if you take Grant Hill over Scottie Pippen, what's your results going to be? Your results is going to be.
If we know the injury now, though, then I mean, but we know that now.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So you have to take it for what the player was able to provide at their peak or you know what I'm saying, their track record. So
yeah, not just that. Who could do it for a consistent 10 years?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Wait, y'all are saying Scottie Pippen had a handle?
Come on, listen. Just like in '94, Scottie Pippen was getting looked over for the last shot for Tony Kukoc, while Grant Hill had a franchise. He owned that team. That Detroit team, that was his team. That's a great example. I would put Grant Hill over Scottie Pippen because.
Let me ask you a question about that. What team won the most games?
I'm just saying though.
Hold on. Don't just say. Answer my question. What team won the most games?
The Bulls had more players.
Oh, okay. They almost won double the games.
And they had Tony Kukoc.
Oh, okay.
The Bulls had Tony Kukoc. When it came down to the wire, they wasn't going to give Scottie Pippen the last shot. They wasn't even putting him in the play. When it came down to the wire, that's the ultimate role play to me.
Bro,
if the coach is not even considering you for the last shot.
Bro, in '94, it was just the Bulls minus Jordan. They didn't have no other players. What are you talking about?
Bro, exactly. The same players. They had a Hall of Fame coach, Phil Jackson. They had a bunch of the other role players had came to the championship with Michael Jordan. So they didn't have. So it wasn't like they had a bad team. They had a good team still. They just didn't have the Jordan. But Scottie Pippen has shown he was a role player. He never took the mantle. He had an opportunity to take the mantle to be the guy, and he never was the guy.
The only mantle he ain't take was winning the championship. They had an incredibly good year.
There's no way they was winning the championship though.
There was a mid-tier playoff team.
They was one shot away from against the Knicks are going.
They're not beating the Rockets in the finals. They have no. They're not beating the Rockets in the finals. Hakeem is killing them.
But I'm just saying, to lose the best player in the world and still get one shot away from going to the finals, that's pretty good.
That wasn't one shot.
They still lost though.
That wasn't even the conference championships.
Well, it's always the best. You got to get to the top of the mountain. You got to beat the absolute best. Now, come on, let's keep it a buck. We can't gauge everything by championships, because then we take guys like Allen Iverson, Reggie Miller. We take a lot of guys out the equation if we gonna gauge everything off championships.
He's not one of those guys. He's not one of those guys.
I'm not saying everything, but we got to take them out. And the best of all time, we have to take them out.
After he left and went to Portland, he was a complimentary player on Portland. He was a complimentary player on Houston. And when he was in Chicago, when Jordan left, he was never the guy that team was like, okay, we got to worry about him making the last shot. They gave it to Tony Kukoc over Scottie Pippen. That says a lot. If the coach, who's a Hall of Fame coach, I'm going to take Phil Jackson's advice or to anybody else, because he's a Hall of Fame coach. He won a 10, 11 championship. So when he says, I think Tony Kukoc gives us a better chance to win, I'm going to take his advice over anybody else.
I wouldn't take.
Hold on, DC, real quick. I'm glad you said that, Black Wall Street. Let's hold it in right there on that point. Now, another great part, again, what we talked about is the leadership aspect of it. When you have a proven leader that, that Phil Jackson's basketball resume cannot be questioned, like you said. Again, Scottie Pippen showed the exact thing that we're talking about here, about how the ego is the black man's worst enemy. Instead of him being like, hey, man, he's going to get him the last shot, great. we win this playoff game, and then we have the opportunity and the chance to go on to win the series and make it to the finals. Scotty bitched up because Scotty was mad about being in Jordan's shadow his entire fucking career. And the reason why Chicago did so well was because Scottie Pippen and all the rest of the Bulls pretty much tried to show the world that, oh, we really don't need Michael Jordan, which everyone knew was a fucking lie. That's why they don't ever put the context in about, them winning 60 whatever games or how many games they won, or 50 some odd games they won that season after Jordan left. Scottie Pippen was trying to prove to the world that he could be on the level or even better than Michael Jordan, which we all know just wasn't true, man. So when you get somebody that has that leadership and makes that call, that's where they put you in your proper role. Because like you said, Scottie Pippen was never clutch, ever. I've never heard a fucking conversation come up with Scottie Pippen and clutch in it. You know what I'm saying? That nigga don't even drive a stick shift. Just saying. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
That's the whole thing, man. When you do get that proven leadership and the track record behind it for being successful, bro, you gotta learn how to just fucking, even if you may not like it, for the sake of the team, do what you're being told to do and go along with the winning play versus the fucking, the personal plays that are gonna get you to shine. But go ahead, bro. That was a great point.
Well, I don't like that great point, and here's why. Because and I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. And I watched every game the Bulls played. This is the reason why I don't agree with that. They try to give Phil Jackson so much credit. It's easy to be the best coach ever when you got Michael Jordan on your team, who's gonna tell everybody else to get out the way. And he taking them last shots, or he gonna go on a 10-0 run on the free throw line by himself. I mean, it's easy when you got a closer like Michael Jordan as Scottie Pippen, one of the best two-way players to ever play the game. So to take that ball out of Scottie Pippen's hand in that moment was disrespectful to all the accomplishment that the Bulls as an organization have made, because Scottie Pippen was the man in Chicago.
So if they lose, it's okay. So if they lose, it's okay.
Hey, if I'm the coach, I'm not taking the ball out of Scottie Pippen's hand, because without Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson is not the Zen master. He only the Zen master because he got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. It's easy to do. It's easy to be the coach and draw up a play and say, okay, here go to play. Everybody get the hell out the way, get the ball to Michael Jordan, and he gonna get it done. That's easy.
Here's the thing, though. Kukoc made the shot and they won. So that was the right coaching decision. So he made the right
they won.
They won the game.
Kukoc was good until everybody. Kukoc was good until everybody figured out he can only drive left. He wasn't better than Scottie Pippen. I would have still.
He wasn't a better shooter.
If we do it all over again, I say get that ball to Scottie Pippen. Because without Scottie Pippen,
bro, you can't
he a better shooter?
He wasn't a better one-on-one player than Scottie Pippen.
But was he a better shooter? He hit the shot.
Situation.
He did his job.
I'm not giving that to Scott. I'm giving that to Scottie.
Tony Kukoc made the shot and they won the game and they won the series because of that call that Phil Jackson made.
Who knows if they'd have called it for Scottie when they would have won the game? Let's not act like Scottie ain't won no game for the Bulls.
We all know he would have missed.
You just ain't seen him do it in the playoffs.
I've seen Scottie shoot air balls when the ball was down the line and he had the ball in his hands.
And also, here's another good counterpoint. The Bulls, we never went to 7 games. So maybe because Scottie was so good defensively and with a little offense that we never had to really struggle against teams.
Jordan, that's discrediting Jordan and Rodman.
No, it's not. Because whenever it was close in a particular one game, Michael Jordan did what he had to do. But we usually scrape teams. It wasn't no battle back. We scraping you.
Because of who, though?
Because Scottie Pippen was a great defender and could score, and Jordan will close you out. That's why.
But you're discrediting Jordan's defense.
So I'm not. Jordan had great. That's the reason why they was able to keep Steve Kerr on the floor, because Scottie Pippen was so great. He could stick the 1 through 3. So now you can have a little guy who only can shoot and don't play no defense.
But Jordan can do the same.
A lot of stuff work.
That's Draymond Green.
Jordan can do the same.
Hey, God,
you're right. But in order to switch everything like that, you're gonna have 2 great defenders on the floor. You're not gonna be able to switch everything with only one great defender.
On defense, he's a facilitator. It's the same thing, bro.
No. Draymond can't stick no Magic Johnson, bro. He cannot stick no point guards, bro. So let's stop it with that same thing. He cannot stick no little guys.
He can't stick.
He wouldn't have been able to stick Mark Jackson. He wouldn't have been able to stick
today.
No, Scottie Pippen was
50.
Mark Jackson.
Let me break that point down. That's a lie. Now, here, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The only reason why these point guards get to the rim and all that's so easy now is because you got stretched bigs on the floor, meaning you have no rim protection. If I got rim
You are
protection
right.
behind,
He is right.
No,
He
you're
is
not.
hold
You're
on,
right.
not wrong. But
can
I'm
I finish
saying,
my
How is that wrong?
my point? Can I finish my point? Can I
Bro,
finish my point? When you
you got
got
it.
stretched bigs on the floor and you don't have no big man protection behind you, now I can't step. If I got a big man behind me, I can step all the way up on you in your chest now, because even if you blow past me, it's a 7-footer waiting on you. You don't have that in today's basketball game. That's the only reason why them guys go to the lane like they do now. If it was some real centers and power forwards down there, all this going to the hole with these little guys, that would not be happening, bro. It
No,
takes a
no.
Which
special
is
type of
why.
talent to do that.
Which is
I
why.
can tell you why it would. I can tell you why it would. If you can
Okay.
blow by your man, you can still dump it off to the defender down low. You can still dump it off to the big man.
But
Or
guess
throw the
what?
But if
lob.
they're
But
spread,
these,
but if they're spread,
that's no,
But
because if they
you
spread
can
all,
finish,
listen,
they'll get more
bro,
assists that way.
bro. If I only think I gotta rotate to a guy who only gonna shoot from 10 feet and in, then I don't have to rotate that far to be close enough to block your shot still. If I'm standing on the 3-point line, I ain't gonna be able to rotate from the 3-point line all the way under the
exactly.
hole. Now come on, bro.
No,
Do you know
I'm
basketball?
not saying they're gonna I'm not saying they're gonna finish the layup. I'm saying they can get easier assists that way.
No, but that's not his point. That wasn't his point. Let me jump in.
When you got guys like Elijah Wan and Dikembe Mutombo, them guys could stick you from 8 feet and still stick the hole. Some of the big men was really good.
Well, they
can
should
stick
be
you.
able to.
Man, now you ain't gonna be able to do that. You're not gonna be able to do that from the 3-point line and then stick the hole. Now that's just not happening. That's the only reason why these little guys like Westbrook.
Right? Can I say something real quick?
That's just the maturation of the game. That's the maturation of the game.
Right.
That's what that is.
Sir Tice, it's on you. He leave?
Again, the only reason why these little guys is able to go to the lane like that is because now you got all these European 7-footers, and I'm gonna tell you what's gonna change that up. All the league need to do is get somebody else like Shaq, who you gonna need somebody who got some size on them to be able to stop them. And that's going. I'm just saying, it's always somebody might could come around. You get somebody who will automatic bucket down low, who got a little size, who can overpower you. That's gonna put an end to all that. Because then you're gonna have to get somebody with some size and weight on you. And he probably won't be able to shoot like that.
All I was gonna say, real quick about the Zen Master real quick about the Zen Master, as someone was saying, well, that's why he's the Zen Master. One thing that people have to recognize, and why the triangle failed in Chicago, why it failed with, I can't think of the brother who was the assistant to Phil Jackson right now. Damn, he was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks with Jason Kidd, with Jason Kidd, and he was actually an assistant on the Lakers too. God damn, I can't think of his name, but anyways, the point is that the triangle always had a Jordan, a Shaq, or Kobe to fall on. If you want to see the real triangle in its real thing, and I know that Fantastic, I'm not pandering to you on this, even though I know that Kobe's your guy, but look at the 2006 Lakers when Kobe said he wasn't going to shoot against Phoenix.
The Phoenix Suns.
Okay?
The Phoenix Suns.
Right,
The boy gave up on his team.
Look at how that triangle just completely failed, and they needed a guy like a Pau Gasol, which I think is the most ridiculous trade ever, but I won't get into that, when they gave garbage to get a stud. But the point is that it always had a fallback in a sense. So
Jerry West was the general manager of the Grizzlies. That's why that happened.
Damn, somebody's calling me doing this shit. Anyways,
I'm gonna tell you what made the triangle work, and what.
Hold on a second. You're saying that what I'm saying is not valid, or you're gonna add another point? Because
I'm gonna add another. I agree with you.
Okay. Wait a second. Let me add this to you, D-Ski, real quick. I'm a lifelong Detroit Pistons fan since 1980. So trust me, I've seen the Bulls come up and so what have you. You know.
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm finna break it down and make it to a smaller fraction. The reason why triangle work and the reason why you got certain guys
with Phil Jackson it worked.
With anybody. It worked with the Lakers too.
It didn't work with
It did work with the Lakers.
No, I didn't say the Lakers. Yeah, that's with Phil Jackson. I'm talking about the brother who was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks, who left Phil Jackson with Jason Kidd, Jimmy Jackson, and Jason Kidd, Jamal Mashburn. Okay, it didn't work there. And there's two other examples. It didn't work in New York. when you had Derek
bro.
Berkshire.
Listen, bro. That's not my point. My point is,
Okay,
it don't matter if it's the triangle or what it is. Here's the real deal about that. When your best player can score in 2 and 3 dribbles, and he don't got to sit there and rhythm dribble at the top of the key for 20 seconds, then that's going to allow them to get the whole team involved.
That's
Everybody, whether they just dribbling or passing, they're going to be able to get the whole team involved. And this is the reason why LeBron James has so much problems over the years getting guys to want to play with him. Because what you want to do is take a guy who's been rhythm dribbling in high school, college, and then the pros. Then you want to put him as a spot-up shooter. Everybody want to touch the ball. Michael Jordan didn't have to bring it. He could bring it up, but you can do whatever you want to it. Just give it to me, and I'm going to score in 2 or 3 dribbles. I'm going to make a decision in 2 or 3 dribbles. That's what makes Kevin Durant so good.
Right, Jose, look at your own paper, sir. Me and Fantastic, before all y'all joined the panel, I was talking about these AAU guys who come up, and then when they get to the show, they don't know how to move without the ball. They don't know how to work within an offense because the ball has been in their hand all the time. And it's basically what you just described. And you are exactly right.
Yeah, you got to be if you want to build a team around you, you got to be able to score in 2 and 3 dribbles. All that standing at the top of the key. Everybody who did that always failed, except for LeBron James because he's so great. He took some poundings in the playoffs because he don't play off ball. He want to sit there and pound the hell out the ball. And I'm going to tell you why LeBron James do that. He do that because he can't shoot free throws at the end of the game, just like Scotty. He don't want no parts at the end of the game unless he's shooting a 20-footer. A runaway 20-footer.
Why Scotty's a role player.
I don't want to. Let's make the show about the teamwork, guy. With Ray Allen, in his book, he said this, and he said that LeBron pulled him aside and was like, how the fuck do you make these free throws in the clutch? In fact, just to share a short story, 2 years into Boston, Rajon Rondo was feeling himself, but his free throws drastically went down. He went from 60% to 50%, which y'all know which is ridiculous for a point guard. And Ray Allen was like, I was kind of his mentor when I first got there because it was the second year in the league, but then we kind of fell off. But my way, I used to try to ingratiate myself with players, even though my quickness wasn't what it was when I was in Milwaukee and Seattle. I still knew my role. I still took my 300 shots a day. I went up to Ray Allen and said, I went up to Rajon Rondo and said, hey, man, let's go shoot some free throws. And he didn't say these exact words, but he basically said, he looked at him and said, nigga, you can't teach me shit. Now, isn't it laughable that a guy who's shooting 50% and we have a guy that's shooting 90% from the charity stripe?
That's not the reason why they got into it. The reason why they got
I'm
into
not going to
it.
get into no. Hold on.
The reason why
Let me finish, DC. My point is that sometimes as a player, you got to sometimes recognize this guy is better at this skill than I am. And if I'm a team player, getting back to the theme of the topic, then I'm going to listen to him. Just like LeBron said when Dallas beat his ass, and people forget that he averaged only 18 points that finals, he said, I'm going to go fuck with Hakeem a bit. Then the next year, when Ray Allen came there, his free throws increased. Unfortunately, because he went to Cleveland where he could go unchecked, he stopped going into the post. But the point is, he was willing to listen. That's all I'm saying, is that he was willing to listen to somebody who had some experience, who knew better at a certain aspect of the game than him.
Right.
Brothers. I'm done. So go ahead.
Listen, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with that a lot of times. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you got a lot of guys on the playground, they'll put 50 on your best NBA player, but they can't do it with 100 gazillion fans looking at them.
No.
Yeah. I've been around ball all my life, bro. It's a lot of people out here who hoop, but they can't
hoop.
No.
The last dude on the bench is clamping. The last dude on the bench.
Why can't nobody finish their point before somebody cut them off? Like,
because you're not speaking
fast that much.
The last dude on the bench.
We just hype. We all good.
Bro, listen. Can I finish my point before you rebuttal?
Finish. Go ahead.
It's a lot of guys who are excellent on the court and doing a lot of different things. They can't do it with that presser. It's a little something in your chest that can't be taught when it comes to the presser. I've been around a lot of guys who will drop 50 on anybody at the playground, but they can't do it with a gazillion fans looking at them and all that pressure of the media and all of that. Yeah, it's a lot of guys out here who really can hoop. And all
That's
that
it.
play
That's
football
that's
and
true.
all. It's guys who could drop 23 pointers in a row at the park, but they can't do it in a live game with all the marbles on it.
No,
we
but
don't
hold on.
disagree with that.
LeBron can shoot free throws.
Everybody-
LeBron can shoot a gazillion free throws in
Hey,
practice.
fellas,
But at the
I
end of the
saw.
game, with the life of the team and the organization on the line, it's a little different.
No,
Wait,
fellas,
hold on, though.
I'll say this briefly.
Lem-
I'll say this briefly.
All right.
I'll say this briefly. I've seen Ben Wallace nail 3-pointers because I'm such a goddamn hardcore fan. I go right during shoot around, and I was a Wolves season ticket holder when I lived in Minnesota, and I would go there when my Pistons came, and I'm seeing this guy nail 3-pointers, and I'm like, what the fuck? I've seen guys like Kevin Knox, who's on the Knicks right now, and when he was coming up in AAU, man, this dude is exactly what you just described, man. But
I'm trying to tell you,
he's just an average player amongst
That-
when the lights is on. I'm
But
definitely
in Chicago, they got something called the ITT building, and what the pro players do is
Congrats.
they go play semi-pro ball with a mixture of great college players, great high school players, and great NBA players. You'll see a lot of guys doing a lot of different stuff. You're like, damn, I ain't know he could do that. But in the game against all the rest of the killers, they ain't got that same type of confidence. All you got to do is go in any town. You will see they got free games where you can watch the NBA players play. You will see them do that all the time.
Here's the thing, though. The dude at the end of the bench is killing anybody at those parks just because of the competition they play. Dudes at those parks ain't played that high of competition before, bro. Unless they have, hey, then they have. Otherwise, they're getting killed by NBA players at the end of the bench. And
I done seen high school players give NBA players the business.
He makes a point because there's a lot of good talent out there that's really good, but
they can't get it together.
They can't because they're not that good.
Oh, yes, they are.
I'm
trying to tell you.
No, it's a scaling to it. It's a scaling to it.
I'll give you a perfect example. Ben Simmons could actually hit jump shots. He doesn't even want to shoot when he's playing in the game.
Oh, that's a good point.
No, Ben Simmons ain't a shooter though. He's never been a shooter like that, and since high school.
No, but he's making a point that he can shoot, is what he's saying.
Yeah, he can shoot.
I bet you if you get him on the playground, he'll show you different.
That's not his
Get him on the playground and see can he shoot.
Exactly.
But that's not his game. He doesn't get paid to shoot.
He got a turnaround and everything, bro. But it's not
paid to shoot.
Hey, let me tell you guys a good story real quick. One of my best friends, well, he's in his 40s now, like me, but one of my best friends' cousin was a high school standout, played with, I won't get into the names that we all came up together and we played, but I'll just say this, man, he straight up abused Jerry Stackhouse in one of these pro-ams. So in the summertime, pro guys like to just go and play with the regular guys in these pro-am things, and they're working on a new facet of their game. You know, no, I won't get into the specifics, but I'll just say this. Whereas my friend's cousin, man, he's like, and he was playing in Venezuela at the time. I'm going to show them. And he dropped 40 on Jerry Stackhouse. Man, Jerry Stackhouse called him up for the Pistons for a tryout. They had no intentions of signing him or whatever. And he was like, basically, from what I heard from the guy who got abused, he was like, okay, damn, man, the Pistons, my hometown team, don't draft me or whatever. Man, he said Jerry Stackhouse just so abused me and then let me know, like, hey, dude, fuck that pro-am shit or what have you. The point is that these guys can all do it at that level, but then there's a next stage, and there's a reason why, you know, there's different, I mean, I hate to be cliche, but there's levels to this shit, you know?
That's the point I'm getting at. You go from high school, then there's different levels of college basketball now. Everybody knows that. And then you got overseas, then you got to the pros.
Let me put something else. Let me put something else in your head, brother, that you got to look at. You got to look at the coach's job and livelihood on the line too. So though you may be able to shoot, it might be more beneficial. It might be more beneficial for him to just stick you down low because he don't want to run the risk of losing like that. Even
How
I
about
done
this?
happened to a lot of guys. Like a lot of guys be great at dunking on people in high school. Well, you know this dude need a jump shot. He can shoot, but are you gonna win a championship with him shooting? You don't know. You don't want to run the risk. So you try to hold on to your position in life. So it make a lot of guys take their confidence away because the coach don't got confidence. He want to make sure that he get that W. He don't care nothing about how good you gonna be when you maturate to another team or later on in your career. He trying to give him a new contract. So you gotta look at that too. Go ahead.
All
I
that
see
goes
what you
into
mean.
account. All that goes into account. Like I'm from the DMV, and I've seen Kevin Durant in person. I've seen Michael Beasley in person. And when you look at them in person, you say, "Oh, Michael Beasley's got all the he's got everything that you need."
Michael Beasley was that dude.
Exactly.
Okay, then exactly. Okay.
And then when he went in the league, it was a different story. So it doesn't always translate. It doesn't always translate
Because
like,
it got something to do with them coaches and the style they want to play, how they want to utilize you. There's a lot of different factors that go in.
I think Kevin
Let me
Durant
add
done
this.
all the N1 niggas playing point guard. Every shot he shot was off the backboard. He didn't even shoot a straight shot. Every shot he did playing with people. But
Durant will tell you. Durant will tell you. I gotta jump in on this because Beasley came to Minnesota when I was still a season ticket holder, and they would do things for season ticket holders like you can meet the players and all this, what have you. And he was new to Minnesota, and he thought it was all white or whatever. Unfortunately, well, I won't get into what I think I've introduced him to, but I'll just simply say this. Man, he was like, yo, there's this young cat in Seattle, Durant. I'm like, yo, the cat from Texas, he too skinny. He can score like a motherfucker. But back to the point I was going to make, and then I'll shut up. Jalen Rose, who I came up with. Jalen Rose is 1 year younger than me. Man, Larry Brown, he's on record of saying this, and he has whatever podcast or whatever that he said this. He said Larry Brown literally deliberately tried to kill his career. And mind you, he's got enough status that he can say this. And I'm going to tell you this. When I saw Jalen Rose play, I'm like, you know what? I'm not tall enough already. This nigga left-handed too. I'm the other left-handed guy. Man, I can't fuck with this guy. Because he was just doing some cold-ass things. But he was basically saying that before Larry Bird coached, Larry Brown kept him deliberately on the bench, and he said, all I did was make sure that I went to practice every day before practice so they could never say this Detroit dude, because we had a very bad reputation of once we get to the NBA, we think we the shit, that kind of shit or whatever. And then Larry Brown quit on Indiana, and Larry Bird got hired. And then lo and behold, he's a starter. And then a year later, they're in the finals against the Lakers. But you are right, DC, when you say about sometimes with the coaches, but you got an ultra talent like Michael Beasley. I was watching college basketball intently back then, and he was one of the last great players I saw that could do everything on camp. I'm like, God damn, this dude is going to be a stud. And I live in Miami now, and I talk to a lot of guys who know whatever the scene. They're like, man, that dude was just so caught up in the culture and all this. He didn't give a fuck about the game and shit. He was just playing on talent. And that's where we are right now. So I just wanted to add that in. Y'all go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but it doesn't always translate to the league though, and for a bunch of different reasons. It could be the coaching, it could be the play style, it could be the lifestyle, the culture. There's a lot of different things that go into it. A lot of things go into it. So you can't just say, "Oh, this dude ain't that good" because you don't see him that much. He doesn't get that many minutes.
You mean you can't be a hood nigga and come into a professional setting, even on a basketball court, and thrive for 5 years? No.
Now you're talking about the corporate Ray and the corporate Pookie right now. Now you're talking about the corporate Pookie. And that's a whole
nother. There'll be dudes on YouTube, bro. There'll be dudes on YouTube who think they're good.
I mean, when we look at it, because I follow high school sports and college and the pros. And Tim Thomas was ranked higher than Kobe at one point. Remember Tim Thomas?
Tim Thomas was that dude.
But Kobe had a better work ethic than him. So he just still passed him. Joe Smith was ranked higher than Kevin Garnett, remember? But then, when he went to Maryland with Steve Francis and them.
Hey, man. Joe Smith, again, You're exactly right. What's up, sweetheart? Yes. Yeah. So Joe Smith. There's another name I'm gonna throw out. Oh God, Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin was another guy like that.
Well, he broke his leg in Cincinnati. You gotta stay healthy. That go to your point about fantastic point about staying healthy.
Yeah, he hurt his knee.
Yeah, he broke
his son just got
Yeah, but even when he got into pros, I remember he could guard from 5 down to damn near 2 or an athletic 2. And that was, keep in mind, fellas, the late 90s, 2000, let's say 2004, 2005, the NBA, you could still hand check. You could, in other words, you could steer a guy another way. Man, it was aggressive as hell. And this is where I won't call him a clown because he is great, but this is where I give Allen Iverson so much credit in that he was willing to take that contact. Now, what I wish that Allen Iverson would have become with his quickness is that he could have been a better point guard than he was.
But anytime you got Eric Snow on your team, you're going to get a double team all the time.
Bro, Iverson's not a point guard, bro.
No, yes, he can be a point guard.
He's one of the. He's like a Kyrie. He's a combo guard.
If you're trying to win games, name somebody else on that team besides Aaron McKee and Theo Ratliff who could actually score.
But
nobody could score.
Wrong. Here's the wrong part of your question, DC. Name the group of extra scorers that could play with Allen Iverson. So bitch ass Chris Webber and us Detroiters, we call him a bitch ass because what he did to Ed Martin. If y'all don't know about that, whatever, I won't get into it or what have you. But Chris Webber said Allen Iverson was the most talented player I've ever played with, and I've played with them all. He said he was also the most difficult, and you don't know what to do. He don't.
Yeah, but why would you want to? Why would you want to play with a one-on-one guy and stand in the corner all day?
Well, it's not about one. He got traded there. I'm just, but you're right.
I'm just saying that's Allen Iverson's game, just playing one-on-one. Everyone else is sitting in the corner.
Yeah, but I give him respect because I'm gonna keep on saying it. He was doing it in a league where it wasn't no stretch big, so the power forward and center was both down there trying to block his shot.
Chris Webber was a stretch big.
But he wasn't standing on the 3-point all the time like these dudes do.
Oh, these dudes
are just a highlight player, bro.
No. All Allen Iverson needed was, and this is what the league is missing. And no, I'm gonna bring this back to the theme of this. This is what Allen Iverson was missing. Like when Charles Barkley came in the league, y'all know this, and Young Swift, if you don't know this, Charles Barkley was that dude. He just wasn't a personality, okay? But when Charles Barkley came in the league, Moses Malone, a 3-time MVP, who they never talk about, a 3-time, mind you, with 2 teams. He said, how come I'm not playing? He said, because you're too fat. Okay? In other words, where are the adult mentors? Like, I would love to see for the basketball, for the team always have a slot for the 34 to 37-year-olds, so they guarantee it, but they keep bringing in all these high school and international guys and giving them a bunch of money. Hey, look, I'll be the first to say this. When I was 21, you give me $100,000, let alone a couple million. I don't know what I would have been. In other words, my point is that a lot of these star guys don't have anybody that can keep them in check. Charles Barkley had Moses Malone and Dr. J. I'm trying to think of another great that came up with someone else, and I can't think of it right now. But the point I'm getting at, Allen Iverson had nobody. Plus, he had a crew that was telling him, "Oh, you the shit, you shit, you shit, you shit."
Nah, but that's his fault.
But not only that, though.
But can I ad lib on that? Can I ad lib on that point?
You can do whatever you want.
First of all, it's only human nature. We talking about a guy who was first of all, when you great, ain't no all-star in high school. You got all-Americans. And then after that, you got all-staters. So the top of the hill in high school was an all-American. Well, you talking about a guy who was the #1 football player and the #1 basketball player in the country. He got in trouble, had to sit out, still went to Georgetown and tore up Georgetown. I mean, it's gonna be hard to keep a guy like that in check. All-American is a prima donna, man, anywhere. That's just how that
I mean,
goes.
that's on him.
But by the way, he's not the
not only that
first.
though, they made him into a two guard. He was averaging 8 assists a game as a point guard. They made him into a two guard, and they traded all those other players away. They traded all the role players around him, and they said, "We're gonna put a whole bunch of role players around you, and then you do all the scoring, and everybody else do everything else." That's not his fault. That's what the coach did.
No, it's not his fault, but it's a coach like Larry Brown who, once he left Philadelphia in 1 year, came to my team, and I'm not trying to say this on no ranking session or whatever, but
he won in Detroit, but then he lost in New York after that, though, and he never won anywhere else.
Of course, we know that, but my point is that Larry Brown loves to teach. Larry Brown loves to teach. Except for New York,
they had better on the team.
Let me finish. Except for New York, every team that Larry Brown came to, they were a better team, with exception to
Indiana went to the finals.
No. He brought Indiana up, but then he was focused on his own mission or what have you.
Larry Brown is overrated, bro.
No, he's not. Hey, how can you be overrated and you win a college championship and a pro championship? And
because he played for 10 years losing teams. He played for a lot of losing teams.
What do you mean he played? You mean he coached?
He coached for a lot of losing teams.
Of course, and he's willing to build.
What you mean, a championship?
The one team that was given to him. Once they traded for Rasheed Wallace, I remember that time. Once they traded for Rasheed Wallace,
there's nothing. I'm gonna pull rank now. There's nothing you can tell me about my Pistons, okay? So it wasn't just once. No. But it wasn't just for the white Rasheed Wallace. We beat the Lakers, who had the Gary Payton, Karl Malone. You're right. We beat them before we had Sheed.
No, it wasn't until y'all had.
I mean, she was awesome, but y'all had Tayshaun Prince, y'all had Chauncey Billups, y'all had Rip Hamilton.
No.
Y'all had a whole team over there.
You're telling somebody. You're talking to somebody who knows this. Let me say this.
I remember it was a trade for Rasheed Wallace from Atlanta Falcons, or for the Atlanta Hawks.
He played one game. No. I know the trade. You don't have to say this. But here's my point. And by the way, this goes back to the theme of the topic.
He never won after that.
No. I know he didn't win after that, but it's not always about winning. What you need to develop. Case in point, Mark Jackson is the slowest fucking point guard there was, but Mark Jackson's best years were in Indiana. It wasn't in Denver. It wasn't in New York. It was in Indiana with that. But let me just add this also to the discussion, what you said, or to the overall frame. Rasheed, who we all know, I personally think Rasheed even had more talent than Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. The unfortunate thing is he didn't want to work on his game like those two brothers did, but he was willing to come to a team, and it's not because it's my team, I'm just simply saying, and play a role.
I don't agree with that, Sir Tice, and here's why I say that.
Hold a second. Look at Wake Forest and against North Carolina, and you will see Rasheed abuse Tim Duncan. And by the way, I think Mr. Timothy Duncan, the most arguably underrated thing, is one of the greatest guys we've now. Maybe.
I remember that. Hey, Sir Tice. Sir Tice.
Go ahead. Let's go.
Sir Tice. It wasn't his work ethic. It was the bad rap he got for always getting technicals, losing his character, getting upset. Then he had a bad work ethic. Because he was out of shape. Hey, but hold up. But he was awesome when he got in shape. He could stick the 3-pointer. You can't stop him in the post.
I didn't tell you
great defense.
I didn't tell you he was awesome. Skills.
He was one of the best power forwards in the league. No question about it.
No, I didn't tell you. Hey, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish. He got a bad rap at. He got a bad rap at Portland when he was on them teams with Bonzie Wells, and then when they were smoking bud and all that old shit, and people was getting in trouble with Bonzie Wells. Who was the big dude they had? Damon Stoudemire,
Isaiah Ryder.
Isaiah Ryder. The dude
his name is Smoke Ryder.
The dude who had the headband, who was the center, who knocked dude out in Indiana with Artest. What was his name?
He was
cold.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine O'Neal. So he got a bad rep. It wasn't really his game. It was just his bad rep.
No.
What it was.
It wasn't a bad rep. I'm gonna tell you this.
He had a bad rep.
No. First of all, one of my best friends was his weed man. Yeah, I'm saying it's a public stream. Okay.
Hey, man, you know everybody in the league, huh? You got all the connections.
No. I just used to be a DJ. I just used to be a DJ. I talked about Ray Allen's book. I didn't know Ray Allen, but I used to be a DJ in Minnesota. Minnesota is a so-called white town. I'm the black guy. Then, so I was kind of connected, what have you. And then a couple guys who played on the Gophers were some of my boys, what have you, okay? So that's how I knew it. I only talk about Ray Allen's book. But my thing was when Rasheed came to Detroit, one of my guys, who's what I said, and I shouldn't have just said that, Rasheed didn't care about, did this game just start? Hey, fellas, we're going to have to end this stream in a second. Or, I'm sorry.
The Tampa Bay game is on?
Yeah, damn, they just kicked off. Okay, so my thing is this. Rasheed could do everything. Rasheed, to me, even has better skills than Kevin Garnett.
I don't agree with that either.
I
definitely don't agree with that.
He could shoot better than Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett had a knockdown jumper. Kevin Garnett. The only reason why Kevin Garnett. No, but he ain't got to. Everybody. Shaq can shoot no threes, but that don't mean you can't. You can stop him.
DC, all I'm saying is this: is that Rasheed didn't work and care about the game like Kevin Garnett.
But remember you said this, so I don't know if you said this. No, that was Fantastic that said this. But Kevin Garnett was able to take a bad Minnesota team to the playoffs every year in the West. That's hard to do, bro.
Not only are you spot on, and by the way, I was in the season ticket then. Not only are you spot on, some of my little Gopher guys, I would go there and watch. Man, Kevin Garnett was playing in the summer, and like you call 5 of these guys right now, he'd be working on a move against them. He didn't care if it got blocked, and niggas would be like, "Yeah, I blocked $100 million nigga or whatever." Man, I'll be watching the game, up 1-2 up and under. He's now scoring. I'm like, he did that against Tim Duncan? What the fuck? But he was just working on his craft. Rasheed, he's doing his radio show, smoking weed, all that shit in Portland. And I'm just following this because, I mean, those guys are pretty much my age group that I've...
That's true. That's true.
You know, and, man, all I'm saying is that, man, it's a combination of talent, work ethic, and willing to listen.
And durability, too.
Right.
Durability.
Case in point, I'll add this. In 2009, people forget Boston was better record-wise than they were in 2008. But then KG got injured, and KG was pretty much their grinding, their dirty work guy. And that's why Orlando won that year, because he was injured for the most part. But
that's true.
But just bring it back. We got cats like Rush, and then a guy like Tim Duncan. Well, Tim Duncan don't give a fuck about no media attention. Shit, he's cool wearing a flannel jacket with his white bitch. I'm just saying.
He don't care about none of that.
Whereas most brothers, how much do you care? How much are you? Okay, look at Kobe. Kobe was pretty much. Man, he don't hang out with us at the games. Phil Jackson tried to do a pizza party one time. Not the LeBron James pizza party in LA, but and Kobe didn't show up. He's like, look, man, I'll show up when it's time for training camp. And guess who's the first person there? It was Kobe. And that's why I always, even though I'm not a fan of his, that's why I always had that respect for him. He loved the game that much. And why would you love the game that you can pay a child's ransom? I'm sorry, a child's game, and you're getting paid a king's ransom. And this is why I can't stand James Harden. Bitch, Houston gave you everything that you wanted, and now you.
Wait. Here's the thing with Harden, though.
He gave him a bunch of point guards.
He wanted out, though. He wanted out, same as Kobe did.
Exactly.
Kobe wanted out the same way
Exactly.
But they gave him. He wanted a big man. They made sure that they got Dwight Howard in free agency. He wanted a point guard that could facilitate it. They got CP3.
He didn't want a point guard. He never
they
wanted
didn't get CP3. He didn't want.
Why would you want?
No. He asked for that. He
didn't
asked for that and signed off on it, but he didn't like it. Then the reverting Westbrook. And listen, Westbrook.
You never asked
work
for a
ethic.
point guard, bro.
And not just that, and not just and let me say this. Let me say this, fellas. I get tired of the media creating these narratives about guys leaving teams. When the best player in the world and LeBron James decides to up and lead and take his talents to South Beach, then all bets is off. Everybody just trying to win a championship at that point. So,
bro, can you back up from the mic a little bit?
No doubt. This is a headset. No doubt. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
when the best player in the world decides to take his talents to South Beach, all bets is off. Everybody is trying to win a championship.
But the best player in the world can't bring it to where he at because, come on, man. Let's not get into this 2010 revisionist history conversation again. Because if he was really like that, they had enough cap space, even in Cleveland at the time. Their other high salary player was Mr. Crazy, Delonte West. Okay, so they could have created it. He at the time didn't want that adversity, and that's why they had to latch on.
No, but he made the smart decision.
So Tice, and here's why. And go back to my point that I made earlier. That's gonna bring that point back around. Some guys can't do it on the big stage. Mo Williams was averaging 20 points a game. Hold on a minute. Mo Williams was averaging 20 points a game in the regular season. What was he at in the playoffs when LeBron James needed him? He was nowhere to be found. So now he looked around that organization and seen who his backup point guard was and who his help was. He had to get his ass out of there.
You're right. I forgot. I said it was Delonte. Mo Williams was the second highest player then. My point is that when you're the alpha dog, they come to you. You don't come to another man's team. I live in Miami right now, okay? So I know that whole history. And one of the main primary reasons that he left is it was always going to be Wade County, which is a play for all of you who don't know. It's Miami-Dade County. It was always going to be Wade County no matter what happened with LeBron, and LeBron could not deal with being the star of the show.
It go back to my other point, Sir Tice. When you playing on a perimeter and you don't score in 2 or 3 dribbles and you want to bring the ball up court, it's hard to win on the big stage like that. Cause now you can't get the other stars involved to do what they usually do.
I don't disagree, but when you got a motherfucker who's a linebacker who can do every goddamn thing on the court, but is mentally fragile as fuck, then what? But then you got King on tatted. I mean, what the fuck?
Listen, when they stuck Kyrie in the corner and made him a jump shooter, I knew, now see,
he's gonna leave.
Now nobody you think the rest of the league wasn't looking at that like he got Kyrie turning him into a Steve Kerr. You think I'm finna come over here and play with him and I like to dribble and I gotta sit back? I gotta sit in the corner because the biggest guy on the court want to dribble the ball all day because he can't shoot free throws.
The more reason of your point earlier about people not wanting to play with LeBron James.
Or rhythm dribblers, period. That's why people don't like playing with Westbrook. All that rhythm dribbling he do up there. Don't nobody want to play with nobody who do that.
And you know my problem with Westbrook is this. Man, that dude can work his ass off, and I'm going to prove this, man. Victor Oladipo, was an average top pick, but average. He goes there, but he leaves. He comes to Indiana. He's an all-star. Bitch ass Dion Waiters. This dude, because they see that work ethic in Russell Westbrook, like, God damn, this dude put in work. But Russell Westbrook is the most working as hardest player, but also just still the dumbest player. I've watched 2 Washington games. He's trying to figure it out, but he's going to be another Dwight Howard, in my opinion. And once his athleticism goes, the game will go. Because
he undersized 2 that's not clutch and not a great point guard.
You know what? Westbrook isn't even a 2. He's a DB. He missed his cone. He should have played football. He would have been better playing DB. Not for real. He would have been a better DB playing football than ever touching a basketball. Because as athletic as he is, he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands. He needs to. I mean, as a 2 guard, I don't even think he's effective because he can't shoot.
I don't know if y'all have ever seen him live. I saw him live in 2011. That's the last live game I saw him. And I'm like, it was like when I saw Giannis. I'm like, I've never seen a guy do 3 or 4 dribbles and do it all, full court and just get to the cup as quickly as he has. But unfortunately, when you have
but
that
quiet as this go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, when you just have that kind of skill, you just rely on it.
You mean athleticism?
Hey,
I'm sorry. You're right. You're exactly right. That's what I meant. My bad.
He another one. Giannis another one. He can't shoot the 10-footer. He can't shoot the 15-footer.
He's worked on it, though. He's worked on it.
So they built a wall around him, and now he's depending on jump shooters.
Yeah, right. Giannis is never going to win a ring until he gets a jump shot. He's never going to win a ring without a jump shot.
It don't matter where he switched to.
He got a really good guard. They can win a ring.
And real quick, I say something about the field goal
without him getting a jump shot because in the playoffs they're going to wall up, and you asking Drew Holiday to be the leader. He's not. He wasn't even the leader in New Orleans. So how you
really good guard?
I don't disagree.
You asking your guards to shoot 48-50% from the 3-point line and down there in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
but
that's not going to happen in the big stage.
The problem. Listen, I don't call that BLM Bowl. What happened there is what happened there, and those are young guys. They're dealing with issues that they don't understand in this. And shout out to you, Young Swift, or what have you, and just even being able to digest this shit because it's a lot even to explain to somebody else. I do think that Milwaukee has, especially defensively, I'll use like guys like Eric Bledsoe. Last year they had Eric Bledsoe. I can't think of the light complexion brother name. Damn, what the fuck is his name?
Milton.
That's exactly who I'm thinking of. They had guys like that. Those guys are talented, but they're not clutch type players. And even though George Hill is from the Spurs, he don't want that pressure.
They was better when they had the other light-skinned dude. What's the light-skinned dude they had to trade to make that team work?
What are you talking about? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, that's who they needed.
No,
but they didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
Right. Because when your best player eating up all the salary cap, he gonna have to hit some jumpers.
Man, I'm listening to y'all. He won a Rookie of the Year.
I'm listening to y'all. It's gonna be loud, but I'm gonna be on mute.
He ain't gonna win.
All right, quiet as cut. He won Rookie of the Year too. Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon is extremely efficient, man. He's super underrated. Like I said, like dude, I can't even. I say he was like a what's the dude? He's in Utah now. But he keep getting injured. Mike Conley. He's like
Dante Mike Conley. Dante Exum.
He's a better version. He's a better version of Mike Conley because he can
stick that J.
Yeah, but he's efficient as hell.
I think Indiana's gonna be good with LeVert.
This is a great discussion, man. I gotta close this shit out because I'm actually at work now. So I'll hit y'all on the next one, man. Great appreciate it.
All right, man. I appreciate your show, brother. Hey, all right, y'all have a good night, man.